expanded healthcare choices, better mental health services, more job opportunity when returning home. They had America's back. We must have theirs.
I'm Glenn Daniel, retired U.S. Navy. I was injured during a helicopter rescue mission in the Persian Gulf. I had great pain and nightmares. I tried for many years to get help from the VA. I got to run around from everyone until I met Senator Bill Cassidy. With Bill's help, I'm now getting the medical care from the VA that I desperately needed. I no longer drink, I sleep at night, and don't worry as much anymore. Senator Cassidy didn't just impact my life, he changed my life.
I'm Bill Cassidy. I approve this message.
Paid for by Bill Cassidy for Senate.
Many people are injured and can't afford to get the treatment they need because insurance companies won't pay until the case is closed. I'm attorney Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
Offices in Baton Rouge.
104.5 WNXX Jackson, 104.9 KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Hey, y'all, it's Marty Smith. Join Ryan McGee. Hey, that's me. And me for Marty and McGee, Saturday mornings, 7, right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Good morning at 7 a.m. on Tuesday, September 22nd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see thunderstorms with a high of 75. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron joins us at 7:30. Derek Stingley Sr. stops by at 8 a.m. Nick Underhill talking Saints at 8:30, presented by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette. And the Athletics' Brody Miller stops by at 9:30. Remember, we have our OTB mailbag today. Get your questions in, tweet them, ask them in the YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag. And we'll get them answered at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch live at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to the Off the Bench YouTube channel and the Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channel. Set those notifications. New content is posted daily. Hour number 1 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off and at it off the bench, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria online, 104.5ESPN.com. Good Tuesday morning to you. Jordy Collada, T-Bob Hebert, Matthew Musso, Danny Cardenas here with you. Up until 10 a.m. this morning, we'll react to last night's beatdown on Monday Night Football by the Las Vegas Raiders over the New Orleans Saints. Darren Waller still running wild after last night, nearly sets a Monday Night Football receptions record for tight ends, one shy of Jason Witten, who's his teammate with the Raiders. Waller went off last night. We got sights and sounds coming up here on OTB. Nick Underhill will talk New Orleans Saints with us at 8:30 this morning. As always, that weekly conversation with Underhill brought to you by Chris Perrette, former LSU Tiger and current attorney here. Chris Perrette bringing us that conversation. 8 a.m. this morning, Derek Stingley Sr. will stop by. Remember, every week, Stingley Sr.'s conversation brought to you by City Cafe. Had the boiled shrimp at City Cafe over the weekend. They were fantastic. 7:30 this morning, Ed Orgeron, head football coach of the LSU football team. It is game week. Coach O spoke to the media yesterday. He'll recap some of those thoughts and give us an idea of what it's going to look like Saturday at 2:30 inside Tiger Stadium. Lots to get to in the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees sound, Sean Payton sound, Cam Jordan, all speaking after last night's loss. Big fella, how we feeling?
I'm feeling good. As good as you can be after a performance like that on Monday night. We will get into it. I think we will probably be engaging in the same debate that all of sports talk media will today, and that is Is Drew Brees done? Is he old? Is he over the hill? All of these sorts of things.
Yes, and yes.
No, and no. So we obviously feel different. So let's just, let's do some headlines and let's dive into last night's game.
Here are your headlines on this Tuesday, September 22nd, the day after we figured that Drew Brees was done.
Headlines on Off the Bench.
Derek Carr looked good last night as he threw 3 touchdown passes, and the Raiders gave their new fans in Las Vegas plenty to celebrate, even if they weren't allowed into the Death Star, beating New Orleans 34-24 on Monday night. We mentioned Darren Waller. He had 12 receptions for 103 yards. Here was Sean Payton speaking post-game on the loss.
Two things. We didn't possess the ball enough offensively, and then defensively very quickly we couldn't get off the field. And we're going to look at third downs. We're going to look at time of possession, the turnover right before the half. We're going to look at a number of things, but we got to do a better job coaching. I don't think it's going to be a real pleasant film to watch for some of our star players as well.
I don't think it's going to be a real pleasant film to watch for anybody save for Alvin Kamara, Traquan Smith, Trey Hendrickson, and David Onyemata. I mean, besides that, nobody is going to be too happy. I mean, look at this. You mentioned Darren Waller. This is from Nick Underhill's breakdown of the game, Jordy. Listen, okay, he had 1 catch against Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, 2 against Lattimore, 3 against P.J. Williams, 2 against Jenkins, 1 against Marcus Williams, 1 against Alex Anzalone, 1 against Demario Davis, and 1 against Cam Jordan. So he didn't just do it to one guy. He literally went man by man and dominated the Saints defense to a man. The most shocking part to me is the lack of adjustment to what Waller was doing to them. And it's something that is inexcusable and cannot happen again.
Well, they came out of a timeout late in the game on a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah.
And they're playing 5-yard off the ball.
Yeah, he had a 5-yard cushion, which, I don't know. Shocking. I mean, I thought you would have just sold out to stop Waller. At that point, sell out to stop Waller, make anybody else beat you. I mean, I know you love that 100-yard rusher statistic that kept being bandied about, but make Jacobs beat. Make anybody not named Darren Waller beat you, and they just didn't do it last night.
Drew Brees was 26 of 38 for 312 yards with a touchdown and a pick, as his night is under the microscope after last night. He threw a costly interception before half. Here he is explaining it last night.
Yeah, I had to throw it a lot earlier than I wanted to. And bottom line is I shouldn't have thrown the ball. That was either a bad decision or make a much better throw. But at the end of the day, just check it down. I didn't have the time that I needed to really make a good read. So I should have just dumped it to Alvin and moved on to the next play.
Breeze on the state of the team after last night's loss.
Well, I'd say this. Listen, every drive in this game was very valuable, right? We really only got about 7 of them. So, if one of those ends up being, a turnover that, where we could have gotten points, and then the other one results in basically 3 penalties that took us out of field goal range and didn't allow us to get points, So 2 out of 7 possessions should have resulted in some points. And so in a game like this, man, those are valuable. You got to have it. You just have to have it. So are we totally in sync right now? No, we're not. We're not even close to what we are capable of. Not even close. We did some good things tonight early on, but it just wasn't enough for the few opportunities we had. We needed to take better advantage of that.
Yeah, few opportunities. You hear him keep talking about that, right? Because when you look at the play disparity, the Raiders ran over 20 more plays than the Saints did. They had the ball, I want to say, 13, 14 more minutes, basically an entire quarter.
Time of possession difference, 36 minutes and 18 seconds for Las Vegas compared to 23 minutes and 42 seconds for New Orleans.
So essentially a full quarter of football. Look, we're going to talk a lot about Brees today, and he was bad, but it wasn't all him. The 3rd down defense was inexplicable. It was atrocious, and it's what led to all those disparities that we just mentioned. And then the penalties. I mean, from every single facet of the game, offensively, defensively, the penalties. Again, it's a 100-yard disparity between 3 for 13, what Oakland did, and the 10 for 129 or whatever the Saints ended up at.
10 penalties for 129 yards. Cam Jordan had some thoughts on that after the game.
I mean, that's a glaring issue right there. When you have over 100 yards, that's something that, we have to immediately learn from. We're going to take this and get to the film as best we can and be back ready for Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's so 10 for 129. The Raiders had 3 for 13. So you're talking about gifting your opponent over 100 yards? Over 100 yards in an NFL football game. That's a losing recipe.
The Saints are on a short week, and they will host Green Bay Sunday night inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Green Bay might be the hottest team in the league coming in after the first 2 weeks. NFL coaches, the NFL fined 3 head coaches, Denver's Vic Fangio, Seattle's Pete Carroll, and San Francisco's Kyle Shanahan. You might want to add Sean Payton and John Gruden to that list after last night's game. $100,000 apiece for not wearing masks on Sunday, sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter on Monday. In addition, the league fined each coach's team $250,000, $250,000. The $1.5 million in punishments comes a week after the league sent memos to teams reinforcing its requirement that coaches wearing coverings over their mouths and noses at all times on the sidelines during games, threatening discipline for those who did not comply.
Bro, that's a lot of money.
Harsh.
Yeah, they ain't messing around, dude.
NBA, Denver Nuggets.
People are like, well, why are they doing this? They're getting tested all the time. Look, a lot of it is just optics, right? That's what corporations do. They're always going to err on the side of caution, optics-wise. But also, it's like false positives and stuff, I guess, in theory, that's it. But yeah, I mean, look, bottom line, it doesn't matter if you want to or you don't. Your wallet is going to want you to wear that mask. I was going to say your boss's wallet as well is probably going to want you to wear that mask. Sean Payton has a fine coming.
For sure.
Yeah.
So does Gruden.
Yeah, unfortunately. Both those guys last night looking like they're going to join the 100K club. Miss Gale. Sorry. I don't know if you'll notice, but it's going to be $250K out your pocket.
The Denver Nuggets are preparing for the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. Lakers are up 2-0 in the Western Conference Finals. That game will tip off from Orlando. Remember, the Nuggets have been the king of comebacks in the bubble in their 2 earlier series of this postseason. They rallied from 3-1 deficits to advance at the expense of the Utah Jazz and the Los Angeles Clippers in the first 2 rounds. Game 3 of that series coming up tonight as Denver is looking to get a game. Boston is at Miami tomorrow night. It's all from Orlando in the bubble. Boston is trailing in that series to the Heat 2-1. Those are your headlines here on this Tuesday edition of Off the Bench.
NBA just can't get me going anymore, dude. Sucks. I'm going to try tonight. And see if I can get back into it.
Those are your headlines, powered every single day, driven by All-Star Toyota. Remember, check out All-Star Toyota online at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Looking forward to your mailbag questions an hour from now. Jump inside the Bayou Ford chat app over on YouTube and just get your questions in. OTB Mailbag, it's the hashtag there for your questions at 8:15. We got Coach O coming up here in 15 minutes. It's game week. He will begin previewing the Mississippi State Bulldogs. He'll also give us thoughts on his team going into kickoff at 2:30 on Saturday that you can catch on Eagle 98.1. We'll talk New Orleans Saints with Nick Underhill at 8:30 this morning. But next we react to last night's Monday night loss for the Houdat Nation as Saints now 1-1, staring the Green Bay Packers in the face on a short week. We'll talk about it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Daily brought to you by Coy's Diesel. Remember, online at coysdiesel.com. If you log online right now, Kristen will pop up in the chat box and you can get an appointment with sales. You can schedule a service appointment, or you can request 24-hour roadside assistance. That's right. If you're on the side of the road right now and drive a light, medium, or heavy-duty diesel truck, Coy's Diesel is ready to service you and get you back up on the road and running today. Online, whether it's just an individual truck or if you have a fleet of diesel trucks that you need worked on or repaired, get in touch with Coy's Diesel. Everything's online, coysdiesel.com, or call them 647-3699.
647.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Sorry, I had bad timing. 647-3699. If I was a diesel truck, I would go into Coy's and they could just, tune me up, a couple parts here or there, whatever I needed. Let's say, this is kind of like an emergency roadside assistance breakdown. 24/7. It doesn't matter if it's 7:12 a.m. on a Tuesday. Coy's Diesel's there for you. Go to coysdiesel.com today.
Tune in Thursday night as Gardner Minshew and the Jacksonville Jaguars host Ryan Fitzmagic Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins. The NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Haney, presented by Richard Honda from noon to 3. Chris Doring of the SEC Network comes in for his Tuesday hit. Hunt Palmer with us for an hour. And also Kat Terrell of The Athletic recaps the Saints versus Raiders in Vegas on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Well, look, there weren't just defensive fouls. You know, there were more than just defensive fouls, but obviously we're not going to win when we have that many penalties, and we got to get that cleaned up. I thought we played poorly in the secondary, honestly.
10 penalties for 129 yards for the New Orleans Saints. That was one of the deciding factors last night as the Saints fell on Monday Night Football. We've got some sights and sound as the final score, 34-24. Las Vegas tops New Orleans. Saints now 1-1. They'll be back in the Dome on Sunday to host the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers 2-0 through the first 2 weeks of the season. Lots to break down, and it looked like the conversation both locally and nationally as we were monitoring some of the national shows here in studio. Everybody debating Drew Brees and his performance last night. Brees, stat line not that bad if you look at just the numbers, as Brees 26 of 38 for 312 yards, threw a touchdown, had a costly interception right before half. But one of the stats within the stats that people are talking about is that his his attempts last night averaged 4.69 yards per attempt.
Yeah, I think that might even be through the first 2 games that they've done that.
So,
which is the lowest?
That's the lowest yards per attempt since Brett Favre through the first 2 games.
Or it's not yards per attempt, because that's complete. It's depth of yards per attempt, because yards per attempt is based on like the actual yards that you accumulate. This is just how far down the field is he throwing it. So as Jordy said, it's averaging less than 5 yards through 2 games, and that is the lowest since Old Man Favre back in 2009. So that's a scary parallel there if you're someone like me who is still kind of backing up Drew Brees today.
So, and we've seen Brees change his style of play over the last 3 seasons, right? Over the last 2 years, he's still been atop of quarterback numbers when it's quarterback efficiency, as far as his completion percentage, and even his numbers in yards and passing have been up the last 2 seasons, but his yards per attempt have been down. The criticism on Brees has been the arm strength. Can he push the ball down the field, right? Can he stretch the field? The last 2 seasons, he's been effective in running an offense and not really having that in his arsenal. He's not really had that tool, that weapon to be able to stretch the field. This year, or through 2 games, it looks a little different in the sense his accuracy is off.
That's everything to me. That is everything. Because unlike the Minnesota playoff game or something last year, he wasn't under pressure last night. The offensive line got too many holding penalties, but he wasn't really like pressured or thrown off. It was a little bit of what you saw last week as well. He was maybe pressured a bit more last week. But the point is, Jordy, he's just, and I'm not even talking about like completion percentage, which is down or stuff like that. I'm talking about these little swing routes where you're used to him putting the ball upfield perfectly so that the running back can just take it with his natural momentum, or a little slant over the middle, or just any of these routes where maybe he's even still completing the pass, but it's just not it's always been his greatest strength. I mean, I'll never forget. Do you remember the sports science thing that they did on him where he beat an Olympic archer?
Yeah.
In terms of accuracy throwing a football? That's insane. And so that's always been his greatest strength. And I don't know if it's like an offseason thing because the timing is a little wonky with his receivers. I mean, the timing doesn't appear to be there, but that doesn't even fully explain why when he's just throwing a little swing to Kamara, he's having to pick it up off the ground. And that is ultimately why I become so concerned, because while that is fixable, I'm struggling to understand why it's a problem in the first place, I guess. And that's maybe where you just get to, that's where you arrive naturally at the question of, are we seeing the decline that you saw out of Peyton Manning, which came very swiftly, Brett Favre, which came very swiftly? Are you seeing a similar decline this year? Then again, people said about Rivers last year, he looks okay this year. But yes, that's the question. What do you think?
Yes. I mean, I have been in the camp that, the better days of Drew Brees football are behind him. Even when looking at the numbers, I still go back to the Mike Thomas slant route in the 2017 NFC Championship game when we have become so spoiled in seeing him complete that pass in his sleep.
Yeah.
In his sleep. The play before the Nola no call, Mike Thomas is running by himself on a slant route that he skips to him. It's a game winner. But I know that that's one individual play. But for the last couple of years, I have been questioning the play of Drew Brees and the decline in the position it's going to put the Saints in when it ultimately comes. And now it looks as if they may be staring it in the face. With the best roster in the NFL. That, to me, T-Bob,
they got to prove that.
Is the concerning part, because I have been sold that they have the best roster in football around the 41-year-old quarterback, that they may be able to cover and hide some of the deficiencies that he may have late in his career. And I looked around last night, and I'm asking, where is the best roster in football? Because without their best player in Mike Thomas and their 41-year-old quarterback struggling, who was stepping up? Where was the best roster in football? Where were the guys that stepped up and took some of that off of, the pressure off of those guys? Traquan Smith had a good night.
Yeah, I really like Traquan Smith.
Alvin Kamara continues to play really at a high level even after getting paid. You brought up Trey Hendrickson. You brought up Trey Hendrickson on the defensive line. I thought David Onyemata played well last night. Outside of those names, I am really looking at the personnel department of the New Orleans Saints and asking, where are these guys? I mean, Malcolm Jenkins, you paid him what?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the second time that they flubbed Malcolm Jenkins and his contract. The first time was when he was a New Orleans Saint and they gave all the money to Jarius Byrd rather than giving it to him. Now they're trying to make up for that decision, it looks like, and he's a step slow.
He was terrible last night. And we'll pick Nick's brain about this because Nick has been so high on the safety group, and I know that he was more shocked than anyone at how badly that secondary and the safety group specifically was getting burned. I mean, Waller, like I said, though, Waller did do it to everyone, but he got on Jenkins especially hard last night. So a couple of things you said. The one thing I will still push back against, I don't think that this has been the case for Breeze over the last couple of years. I don't get the deep ball's not exist, so that's fine. It doesn't need to exist. He set NFL records for completion percentage in back-to-back years. He posted the highest passer ratings in back-to-back years of his career, and he won 13 games in back-to-back years. But all that said, that is kind of irrelevant to this year because the end can come swiftly. I am still riding with Drew Brees. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. And maybe the reason is, like I said, I'm trying to understand why this accuracy is struggling. Is it a timing issue? I mean, certainly this was an offseason where you didn't get the time on task with your receivers that you would ideally want. I hope it's a timing issue because that is fixable. Maybe it's Breeze having to make these mistakes and kind of like reorient himself and lock back in. I don't know. I can't answer these questions without being Drew Brees myself. What I will say is that I think his body of work up to this point dictates that I am going to ride with him, and Sean Payton's body of work up to this point dictates that I will ride with him to get this thing figured out. And I'm not just going to make these grand sweeping conclusions after 2 games. It said it's going to get probably even harder next week. I mean, you got Green Bay coming to town. But then after that, you're going to have a pretty nice stretch. I think you got Lions, Chargers, Bears, and Panthers. I don't know if that's the exact order, but those are the 4 games. Like, that's the stretch right there. Those are not very good NFL teams. I like the Chargers probably most out of that group. But if you are the best roster in the NFL, those are all games. You should go 3-1. And so if Breeze is still struggling there and still missing throws, then some very serious conversations have to be had. But as we sit here today, I see fixable problems. I really don't think, too, the Breeze stuff is stark because we're used to seeing him be superhuman accuracy-wise. And so when he's putting these balls at feet or around just too high, it's startling, it's stunning, and it kind of takes you aback. But what we can't lose sight of is what that bad third down defense did to that team last night. Like the recipe, the Saints defense is really good. They looked really damn good on first and second down. They bottled up Jacobs for the most part until they were exhausted at the end on that 3rd and 10. Like they did a pretty damn good job on first and second down, but they could not get off the field. And I don't care if you have the best defense in the world. When you stay on the field that long, it's impossible for you to hold up. You get exhausted because you're just on there more plays. Like we said, they played another quarter as compared to the offense of the Saints defense. But more so than that, Jordy, the mental toll that it takes mentally and physically, where every time you're pushing him to third down and you just can't get off the field, and the offense has the opposite inverse effect where they gain more confidence every time. And so that kind of skewed everything. That took opportunities away from Breeze and the offense. So the offense was bad. It was a bad night overall. Like you said, very few bright spots. You named the few. Otherwise, I'm seeing a team that committed entirely too many penalties in every phase of the game. Played terrible on third down defense, the most important situational down when you're talking about that side of the ball. And then on offense, where you're supposed to be top 5 and have been for, the better part of 2 decades, you looked ineffective. And so I'm willing to say, when you look at what they've done the last couple of years, that this is just a bit of an aberration, and that sometimes you have to go through this stuff to get better, but you got to get on it fast. Because like I said, you got Green Bay now coming on a short week, and you got a lot to prove unless you want all of this noise and negativity to just start to accelerate around you.
We'll talk more about this as the New Orleans Saints 34-24 losers last night to the Las Vegas Raiders on Monday Night Football. Nick Underhill will be here in the second hour, and we talk Saints football with Underhill each week, as his site, neworleans.football, is a great resource to keep up with all the information for the New Orleans Saints. It is a subscription website. Get over there and subscribe for the information. Then check out the podcast that you can get wherever you subscribe and get your podcast from. So we'll talk more Saints football coming up in the second hour. Always, those conversations are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. As at 8:30 this morning, we'll catch up with Underhill. Next, Ed Orgeron will stop by. It's game week for the Tigers. Mississippi State is in town on Saturday. We'll talk to the head coach next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by All-Star Toyota. Remember, great selections of both new car and used and pre-owned and certified inventory over at All-Star Toyota. Check them out. They are online at All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com, but you can also visit them. Their showroom is located on the corner of Goodwood and Airline, where they've been since 2005. A great service department over there, headed up by Tommy Wagaspak. There's no appointment necessary. In fact, you could just whip in today if you need it. You don't even have to be a part of the All-Star family. If you just need a quick oil change, easy entry point from Goodwood right there across from the Old Women's Hospital. Get in for the service call today to see Tommy Wagaspak, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com. All-Star's there for you when you need him. Shout out Tommy Wagaspak, who you just mentioned, Miss Lisa Sessions. As I said, my older vehicle, the transmission is shot. Got to figure out what to do. I needed a rental in the meantime. Right after I left the show here, Jordy, they hooked it up. I'm good to go. Go to All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com today.
Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday Night Football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is a house call. This is a test result. This is a prescription refill. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare. Start your virtual visit today at Auctioner Health.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet. And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Larry Holder joins us to recap Saints Raiders, and we preview LSU Mississippi State with Rohan Davey. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hell yeah, man. Let's go. It's game week here in Baton Rouge. Tigers are in Tiger Stadium this week. 2:30 kickoff. Everything's on Eagle 98.1. Mike Leach, first-year head coach with Mississippi State, bringing his Bulldogs to Baton Rouge as the reigning national champs begin the defense this Saturday at 2:30 inside Tiger Stadium. It's a great week. Coach O's with us every Tuesday morning. He's back with us here on Off the Bench. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Game week, competition Tuesday, big day in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Coach, does it feel different this week around the facility?
Oh, no question. Our guys were fired up yesterday. We had one of our best Monday practices. All the coaches are walking around with a little pep in their step. There's a sense of urgency around the office. And we're excited to be able to open it up in Tiger Stadium. We can't wait to play.
So we talked to Brady Vahoco last week, and he was talking about how tough these competition Tuesdays are and how they got him ready for the league. During a game week, does that change at all? What's the plan for today?
Obviously, at the beginning of the week, beginning of the year, we'll still have some tough days. We have 9-on-7 today. We have bump combo. We're not taking anybody to the ground, but it is a physical day. It's our last physical day of the week, but it is iron sharpens iron, best against best, getting ready for the physicality of the SEC.
Yeah, and a lot of that physicality takes place in the trenches. Let's start with that offensive line, Coach, because it's a group that has taken shape throughout this offseason. You go and get another grad transfer in Liam Shanahan, who seems to really take into that group. Who's starting? How are you feeling about that group going into Saturday?
I really like these guys. I think they had an excellent camp. The first scrimmage, we gave up too many sacks, but after that, Coach Craig got it fixed. They're doing a great job of run blocking. They're big and they're physical. Liam has done a tremendous job for us at center, making all the calls. I worry a little bit about depth. Obviously, we got to stay healthy. We have to have a couple of guys that are going to have to be swing guys. But, if we lose one or two linemen, these freshmen are going to have to play. So we have to keep on developing our roster and being prepared for a 10-game SEC schedule.
Coach, it's become an annual day around the LSU football program. Everybody's looking to see who gets 18, who gets 7. You made the announcement over the weekend. Jacoby Stevens gets 7. A couple of guys get 18, and Chris Curry and Damone Clark. And you also hand out a couple of scholarships this weekend. Can you tell us about what that was like going into game week?
Well, I'll tell you, Friday after our preseason game, we went into the locker room and we were presented those numbers and we were presented those scholarships, and it was magic in that locker room. I felt that it was the closest our team had been together. This team, you can feel the energy. You can feel everybody pulling on the same side of the rope. One team, one heartbeat. They were excited for their teammates. And, you can't anybody more deserving than Chris Curry. Chris sat here, waited his turn. He got his chance. He proved himself. He's a great young man on and off the field. So is Damone Clark. There was a lot of guys that were deserving, but we thought those two guys were most deserving. And we wanted to give Jacoby number 7. He's an excellent football player. We expected him to have a great year. He's a great team leader for us. And, we only awarded 3 scholarships to walk on, which is a lot. Mm-hmm. I wish I could have gave 10 because so many are deserving. But those guys were excited. All those guys we gave scholarships to are close to graduating, and we're excited for them and their families.
Coach, you tell us throughout the offseason how much you have this program prepared for in-season, and that goes into game planning throughout the summer and throughout the offseason. Can you take us behind the scenes and what it was like getting prepared for a Mississippi State team that's going to have a new quarterback and a new coach going into Saturday?
Yeah, check this out. Because of the COVID, we weren't out in spring ball, so we were able to game plan every team that we were going to play on the original schedule. And I do believe that Mississippi State was a lot later in the schedule than planned. Well, we already had them game plan. Now, you got to look at Washington State for offense, San Diego State for defense, who the coordinator gave up 12.7 points per game, was second in the nation. Right, and then you got to look at Mississippi State for personnel. So there's 3 different universities that we had to break down 12 games to get all the reports that we wanted to. I got to give credit to our coaching staff that they did a very good job of game planning. So this is really the third week that we game plan on Mississippi State, which I think we're going to be very well prepared for.
What do you see in the Bulldogs without giving us your game plan? What do you see from this group?
Well, obviously, we always know Mississippi State has some great defensive linemen, has some great defensive players. Every year we've played them, they've been a tough physical battle. So we know that. We know that Mike Leach is going to bring in some excitement with the air raid, KJ Costello, Colin Hill. They're tremendous running back who I have a lot of respect for. They have some big receivers they can throw the ball, and I'm sure there's some new guys that have showed Coach Leach they can play. They're going to dink and dunk. They're going to throw screens. They're going to try to throw the ball deep on them. We have to get a great pass rush, great coverage, but just play it at the LSU standard performance, and we'll be fine.
Well, and if you could expound on that a little bit, not in specifics necessarily, but when you're going against that air raid type of attack, like what are the keys? How defensively, how do you contain that?
Yeah, you got to put pressure on the quarterback. No question. You can't let them sit there all day, but you know what? They got draws. They got screens. You have to pick and choose your time when you do the pressure. They're going to throw the short passes. We have to break up, make tackles in space, not let them get a lot of yards after the catch, do a great job of the screens, and protect the deep ball.
Coach, I know that we're talking to LSU head football coach Ed Orgeron here on Off the Bench. I know that you have to take a very bird's eye view on game day. You're looking at the whole picture. But is there any part about this Saturday that you are most looking forward to? Position, just a part of the day, just anything?
I love going to the hotel on Friday night. T-Bob, you remember that? They got a great meal. Great, all the teams together, man. You can feel it. You can feel the energy. I love waking up on Saturday morning. I like everything about game day at LSU. How can you not? Walking down the Tiger Walk, whether they have a lot of people or not, it doesn't matter. That's a traditional deal for us. And then to walk in the stadium, it's finally game day. And then after the kickoff, after the jitterbugs go away, you finally get into the X and O's and the game plan and the intensity of the football game. And that lasts for 4 hours. So I'm looking forward to the competition.
Well, and it's funny, Coach, because as a player, you always got those jitterbugs until the first hit, right? And then once that first hit goes down, you're okay. You're in it. Where's that line as the head football coach? Like, when does that turn?
Yeah, the final whistle when you win the game. It won't stop. It won't stop there.
Coach Ed Orgeron joining us just like he does every week here on Off the Bench, ESPN, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria. Coach, 60 Minutes gave us a little behind the scene of the Power Hour at LSU. That was cool, man. That was some great footage. That went into nearly 20 million homes. Have you seen the effect of Sunday's preview on the debut of 60 Minutes this season?
Yeah, the recruiting was off the charts. Our Power Hour was off the charts last night. And a lot of parents watched it, and they wanted to talk to me about it. And very similar stories, and we're just really to elaborate on how we do things and what we do. Everybody was very impressed. I thought 60 Minutes, I got to thank them. Derek Panansky led the charge there. I think those guys did a tremendous job of presenting our program in a great light. I'm so glad that they got to go down there to see my mama and eat some of that good gumbo. And I just thought it was a tremendous deal for the whole university and LSU, and hopefully represented in the best way we could.
Coco was a superstar, Coach. I got to get some of that gumbo, man. She was that had to be good for her, huh?
Yeah, she enjoyed it. She did, but I maybe want that gumbo for sure, and the potato salad.
That's right. Ty Davis Price tweeted out yesterday, Coach, can't wait till Saturday. My first game will be dedicated to Remy Hidalgo. R.I.P. to him. After talking to his parents today, they told me how much he loved LSU football, so I'm going to make sure I give him a show. Can you talk about what that meant to your team?
Yeah, Ty's a tremendous leader, a great young man, and obviously we have thoughts and prayers with the family. It's a shame that it happened to that young man, and we just hope that everybody comes out okay, and we wish that the family, as they grieve, let us know that the LSU Tigers are thinking about them.
Yeah, no easy transition out of this, and those thoughts obviously echoed by Off the Bench as well, so we'll just get right into it. Coach Jordy earlier mentioned handing out those number 18s. I was really shocked by Damone Clark. Maybe not shocked because you talked him up, but if you looked like last year, who would have guessed that Damone Clark a year later could end up in that number? Kind of set the expectations for Tiger fans. Like, what has he done throughout this offseason to earn that honor?
There's so many things. It's about character, it's about off-the-field behavior, it's about grade point average, about attending every class, about, number 18 guy, he's the guy epitomized doing everything right at LSU. And DeMond Clark does that. Works out, he's a leader. We think he's going to have a tremendous year. 18 doesn't necessarily go to the best player. Now, it could, but it entails so much more than just on-the-field behavior. It's off-the-field behavior, academics, the way you handle yourself. So we felt that DeMond Clark fit that mold, just like all the great 18s have worn before.
Coach, your depth chart came out last week, your first one of this season, and Allie Gay's name was atop the list at one of those defensive end spots. A junior college get for you guys in the offseason that you haven't mentioned a lot, but it seems like he's been a pretty steady force at practice. What's his game like?
Well, he's come along, man. Ali is 6'6", 260. He's tall. He bats fast. He's athletic. He's a very hard worker. He's a fast learner. Got to give credit to Bill Bush. Bill Bush is the guy that found him out of junior college. He was the top junior college defensive lineman that we thought that we could get, and we did. And him and Travez Moore, to me, are core starters at that position. They'll play the same amount of time. Travez has had a tremendous camp also right there from Bastrop, another junior college player. Very quick, very strong. So both of those young men should do very good at left end.
Looking forward to seeing the reigning national champs, Coach, as they open up Tiger Stadium in the regular season on Saturday. Best of luck, and thank you for the time this week as always.
Thank you, guys. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's
there he
go.
is, Coach O checking in as the Tigers will kick this thing off in a couple of days, Saturday afternoon, 2:30. Remember all the action, Eagle 98.1. We got you set up with pregame scoreboards, postgame whiskey and wine, all of the coverage and all the in-game action for you this Saturday, Eagle 98.1, and on the social media sites. We'll close that hour one next.
Off the bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Brought to you by AccuTemp. Speaking of game week, there is a great special over at AccuTemp right now. Make sure and get in touch with them and ask them for it.
Yeah, so check this out. I got my AccuTemp hat on right now, and I'm here to talk about the Tiger Tune-Up. This is a tune-up for your entire home. Talking routine maintenance package that includes system tune-ups twice a year. It saves you a lot of money. It saves you a lot of thinking. It saves you a lot of time. We're going to save you even more money, though. So for every home game this fall, AccuTemp's going to hook you up during halftime of the home game. If you text halftime to 31996, that's halftime to 31996, you will get half off of that $99 Tiger tune-up package. So you're talking about getting your home taken care of for a year for just $50. And look, we'll be on the companion stream this Saturday. We'll remind you about it during halftime. But again, take advantage from AccuTemp. Go to AccuTempBR.com if you want to learn more. Get that Tiger tune-up. Text halftime and a half.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Peyton was awesome the whole time, like so friendly, very quick to just come up, like let me know if there's anything you need, and just really make you feel like you're taken care of and you're kind of part of their little law family.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet and an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month.
Join us for a Monday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. We're live from Superior Grill on Highland Road for our Monday Night Football watch party. Come watch the game or tune in from 6 to 8 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Good stuff from Ed Orgeron. If you missed it, it's online, 1045ESPN.com. Everything brought back to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Remember, shop Carriages online. Hit them on social media, Instagram and Facebook. It is a great spot as you can shop all the inventory over there at Carriages. All of our sound there. OTB Mailbag coming up at 8:15 this morning. We'll talk to Derek Stingley Sr. here in a couple of minutes about Junior getting ready for this Saturday as LSU will square off against Mississippi State. You know, we were talking about the personnel with the New Orleans Saints, and this is bias from my standpoint. And really, T, I noticed it when going down and doing the Monday morning scores and output from LSU guys. As you go in, you check all the box scores, and you see who's got more LSU guys on it. And LSU has 54 guys in the leagues cashing checks right now. And New Orleans is one of the only teams that doesn't have a contributor on their team. Will Clapp is a backup guard that they took a couple of years back. But when you look at some of these personnel decisions that they've made with LSU guys as options, it is a little head-scratching in the sense of, does it make sense, right? Like Marshawn Lattimore was 16 picks ahead of Trey White. Now, I'm not here to debate whether or not Marshawn Lattimore is a big-time cornerback, but something looked off from him last night, didn't it? I mean, didn't it look like Gruden was going after him?
It's the old Lattimore thing.
Not a high-end receiver?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have Mike Evans across from him, or I don't know, Amari Cooper, or I guess next week it'll be Devontae Adams, right? He'll lock in for Devontae Adams. Now, I don't know if he'll be able to cover him with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball the way Rodgers is playing. But, yeah, and a lot of times Jordy was odd. He was in position. He just didn't make the plays. Like there was that one where I think he thought he was maybe going to pick six it, and then Carr throws a little bit higher, goes right over Lattimore's head, and it turns into another third down conversion. So, yeah, Lattimore didn't play the best last night. And unfortunately for him, that does kind of reinforce the main criticism of his game. And since we were talking to Derek Stingley Sr. next, the same thing that Derek Stingley Sr. talks about Junior with all the time, right? Locking in on everybody, no matter who your opponent is. Not just locking in when you're lined up from Jamar Chase or Terrace Marshall, but locking in if you're lined up a guy that this isn't really a threat just because you have to. If you want to be the greatest of the greatest, you truly do have to.
And it just seems like from a personnel decision-making standpoint that there's just a little bit much overthinking. I mean, I'm looking at back-to-back years of top overall centers as the draft picks. I know Ruiz was a second-round pick. McCoy was a first-round pick. Is that right?
I think flip those. Flip those. Ruiz was the first-round pick this year, and then McCoy was the second-round pick.
Okay.
I believe. And doesn't matter. Your point stands either way.
Only once active in week 1, in week 2. Where's the impact that they're having on the game? And then I see Ruiz is selected with Patrick Queen still on the board, and seeing some of the deficiencies that the Saints have in tackling and what Queen has done in the first 2 weeks in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And I think the most glaring one from a personnel department, and I think this is the one that stands out on, and it's Breeze, and it's only because there is there's a comp in Foxborough, right? When you look at the decision that Belichick made with Brady and the decision that New Orleans has made with Breeze. Do you think that that's comparable in the sense of where they are in the career, what they mean to the franchise?
I think the key differences would be last year, Brady did not have near the years that Breeze did.
Fair.
He did not have near the year that Breeze did. And on the Ruiz front, I mean, I thought last night kind of showed why you picked him when you had, was it Nick Easton go down? I believe he returned. But
Easton went down.
Look, the Saints, now, you are correct in that all of that team-building strategy runs through Breeze. Why do you draft multiple interior guys? Because Max Unger retired, and when Drew Brees has been at his best, it's when he's protected up the middle. When he struggled at his worst, look at the Vikings game, it's when they're getting after him up the middle. And the interior guy's been doing his job. Again, that's, to me, the freakiest part about last night. Even Tampa Bay got after you a little bit. Last night, there wasn't a great pass rush. He wasn't under pressure. And he was still rushed and missing a bit. So, yes, that becomes a concern. So, I don't hate the Ruiz pick. And, yeah, you could play the kind of hindsight game on guys like Trey White. I bet you there's, when was Trey White picked? 28?
Late first, yeah.
Okay, but there's like 27 teams, that kind of wish that they had picked up Trey White when you look at what he has gone on to do. And certainly Patrick Queen, what does he lead the NFL in tackles or something right now?
Devin White does.
White does. That's what it is.
Patrick Queen's third.
And then I think Jamal Adams leads all safeties in tackles. It is.
Deion Jones is top 10.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire might lead in rushing yards. Or
how do they misspell Hilaire's name?
I mean, that's bad.
How does that happen?
That's their team. You're the Chiefs.
That's your first-round pick, and it's his second game.
And the amount of resources that go into promoting a first-round pick in a franchise are crazy. It's like signage, appearances, it's all kinds of stuff. Shocking.
Back to the personnel department on the Saints. What the hell were you thinking on Malcolm Jenkins? Hour 2 next.
We'll see. I mean, it's hard to argue that.
Off the bench with Collada and T-Bob.
Daily here, we're brought to you on OTB by Secure Shredding and Recycling. Remember, get in touch with the crew over there, whether it is Mr. J. Babb, Gaines Garrett, and the crew. Online, you can find them at secureshreddingandrecycling.com. Remember, 10 mobile trucks, 10 trucks on the road offering mobile shredding to you every single day. They've got drop-off shredding available if you need hard drives destructed or destroyed. You mentioned off the bench, the first 2 hard drives will go for free. Online, secureshreddingandrecycling.com.
Secureshreddingrecycling.com, secureshreddingrecycling.com. Go there for all your document destruction needs. Okay, they're local LSU guys. Meaning that they're going to be there to serve your needs, because that's what it ultimately is. It is a services business, and they understand that. They also serve the environment. It's great for the environment, what they do, but more so it's great for you, okay, because they can pick up and destroy. They have drop-off points they can bring back to their facilities. Hard drives, paper, anything, they got you. Go to secureshreddingrecycling.com, secureshreddingrecycling.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyer.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, September 22nd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see thunderstorms with a high of 75. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Still to come, Derek Stingley Sr. joins the show next. Nick Underhill talks Saints at 8:30. That's presented by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. And the Brody Miller of The Athletic will be here at 9:30. Also, OTB Mailbag today, so get your questions in. Tweet them or ask them in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Use the hashtag OTB Mailbag. We'll answer those at 8:15. Follow the show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Off the Bench and Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channels. Set your notifications. New content is posted daily. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Off and at it off the bench, hour 2, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN Radio in New Orleans, 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. We're always online at 1045ESPN.com. Hit us online there. Remember, all of our sound is brought back to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. We're taking your mailbag questions inside the Bayou Ford chat app.
Yeah, if we could ask for a theme, I don't care. I mean, you can ask anything. But yeah, anything football related today, or like kind of like this one about favorite beverage to drink while watching football? Yeah, all that is welcome and more. So just put them in the YouTube chat, and I am amassing them in the list for the segment.
Coach Ed Orgeron stopped by 30 minutes ago. We talked about LSU, Mississippi State.
Okay, I'm going to address Todd's question right here. Yes, I have a stained left sleeve. As you can see, it's very gross looking. That is baby cereal. Unfortunately, I don't know. I thought this shirt was clean. Have you dealt with that baby cereal in a while?
It's been a while.
Dude, that stuff, when it dries, it is hard
thick
to get off of stuff, okay? And I guess I thought I had gotten it off. But yes, don't dad shame me, okay? I'm just trying to raise my kids, man. Thank you. I've said my piece.
We will talk to Nick Underhill about the New Orleans Saints coming up here in 30 minutes. We talk to Derek Stingley Sr. every Tuesday on Off the Bench. That conversation is brought to you by City Cafe. Remember, get over to City Cafe on the corner of George O'Neill and O'Neill Lane where good friends meet. I stopped by over the weekend, picked up some boiled shrimp. They were fantastic. Remember, boiled shrimp every day over at City Cafe. If you're in for lunch today, stop in and check out the charbroiled oysters as they are the best in town. Derek Stingley Sr. is the defensive backs coach at the Dunham School. He is one of the top DB tutors in our area. His son, Derek Stingley Jr., is the best defender in college football, and they will kick off the season this Saturday versus Mississippi State. Got to be an exciting time for you and your family as you get ready for Saturday, Coach.
Morning, Jordy, T-Bob. Yeah, it's here, so we're ready. We're excited for them. We're excited for the entire team. I know those guys been putting in a lot of time, and, Saturday is almost here. We can't wait.
Did you think that this day would come this season?
I had my doubts, but glad that we're here. Glad that, we're about to kick off, so at least we know we got week 1 in the books coming up.
Coach, because I want to ask, take me through it. So a game day. How is that different being a father versus being a coach versus being a player? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You've seen it at every level. How is it different on each level?
Oh man. Well, from a player standpoint, you're kind of going through the game in your head. You have a little anxiety because you don't want to let your teammates down. You don't want to have any negative plays. But at the same time, you got to get yourself revved up and ready to go. Excited, coming out of, I'm pretty sure, T-Rob, coming out of Tiger Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
The roar of the crowd can really get you going, or it can make you turn back around, one or two. So with that being said, it's just, making sure that, you're just there for your teammates, and that you're good on your assignments. From a coach standpoint, there's nothing physically that we can do, meaning now the game is in the player's hands. We're hoping that our game plan sticks and it works, hoping that we don't have to deviate from the game plan, feeling that if we had a great week of practice, hoping it can translate onto the game field. You got to instill confidence in your players. You have to, from a head coach standpoint of view, you have to give them a good talk before they go out there. You can, ready for your in-game adjustments if you can make them. If not, you just got to hope for some big plays here and there. From a father standpoint, oh my God, it's nerve-wracking. It's terrible. I'm different on game day. I can't even speak to people as much. I can't hold real conversation. I'm more dialed in than Derek is. I believe I am. There's just too much going on with him, and he has a lot riding on him. People expecting big things from him, and by me being somewhat close to the program, I kind of know the system. I know what's coming up. I know sometimes what the defense that they're truly in, where the ball should go. If he should make a play. Then we got the whole punt return thing, and it's like, my goodness, if I was a nail biter, my nails would be done. They would be done. But, I really don't get a chance to relax until probably that Sunday, Monday, after I've seen the game myself again and went over it.
Oh, not even until you watch the film, like not even just live. You don't truly chill out till you get to watch the film.
Yeah, because
Can you eat on Saturdays?
T-Bob, you know how it is. You have to watch the film because sometimes it's like it's not as bad as you think it was, and it's not as good as you think it was.
Yeah.
So you have to get that assessment, and that's what I do. And then come Monday, I'm kind of like, oh, okay. But I got to keep mental notes through the game to try to talk with Derek after the game, and then come Monday, I tell him exactly what I think, what happened, and I know he's already moved on, but I'm still on that last game. And then it's back to me being regular meat Tuesday through Friday up until Saturday.
Getting ready for Saturday again.
It sounds like being a dad is the ultimate extension of that feeling of helplessness of being a coach, but even worse because you didn't even get to game plan them.
That's it in a nutshell. You're exactly right. That's it.
Can you eat? Do you have an appetite on Saturdays?
I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
No. My wife and my daughter looks at me like, you're just different. I say, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm that same way, though, man. When I'm locked in, when I'm nervous like that, I don't like to talk to
me
people. I
either.
was never big talking before the game or anything. Like some guys are loose and joking around. I was always kind of a lock it in sort.
So
I
wait,
was the same way. As a player, I was the same way. Yeah.
so have you got your seating assignment for Saturday? I mean, do you know for sure you're going to be there?
No, we don't know exactly where we're going to be. We just know all we got was 4 tickets. All the players got 4 tickets. We got an email saying that there would be like some form of a cluster, like we would be in a certain area and we would have to naturally stay in our area and wear masks and things like that. And that if sometimes we do these little trades within the tickets with the families, and if being like, let's say if I'm only using 3, then someone else can actually trade with Derek to get his 4th ticket. But that person, whoever that person is, will have to sit with us, as our family, because that's the 4 that's in that group.
Yeah.
So they were saying if you're going to do any extra tickets, that family members may not be sitting with you. Only 4 can sit with 4.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
If you've never seen Senior watch one of Junior's game, he's got this whistle that'll hit. He's got like this 2-finger whistle that he can hit with his tongue, and it's almost like you can hear it from anywhere. And I used to watch Sting
You
Jr.
probably hear it in this stadium now, Saturday.
And now I'm saying on Saturday you'll be able to hear it because watching him play at the Dunham School, I mean, he would stand at the top of the press box and he'd hit this whistle, and it didn't matter if Sting Jr. was on the opposite corner of the field or if he was on the sideline underneath him. I mean, his neck would whip around.
It's like it's like a Pavlov dog, like ringing
you'll
up the
have
bell.
a chance. You'll have a chance this week to get in touch. Kind of get his attention with only 25,000. I wanted to ask you this.
I can get his attention when the stadium
Oh,
is full.
Hey, I wanted to ask you this. Give me your thoughts on Deion Sanders becoming a head coach in the SWAC. And then I saw that he offered a lot of these high-end guys. I saw Mason Smith, the 5-star defensive tackle from Louisiana, tweeted out last night that he got an offer from Jackson State. Would that mean anything to you in recruiting if you kind of reverse the timeline 2 years ago? Obviously, Deion would have been going after Sting Jr. Would that have meant anything?
It's tough to say because you're not looking at, okay, Deion is good for Jackson State. What I mean by that is he's good to probably sell tickets, sell merchandise, bring people to the game. Deion hasn't been proven as a head coach. You don't know what he's capable of, who he's going to have on his staff, things like that. I'm not knocking the fact that he can't be a great coach. He's one of the all-time greatest when it comes to being a defensive back. But, we would have to see how it goes first. Like, is he a great motivator? Is he a good coach? Does he do right by the players? Is he accessible for parents and things like that? So a lot of that would matter. I think what he's doing now is he's bringing a different element to the SWAC. He's bringing his popularity and because of the fact that people know who he is and he's one of the top players in the country. It's just newsworthy. And for us, for Derek, naturally you want to play against the best. And in our opinion, the best was always in the SEC or any Power 5 football. Now you're going to find some good players in divisions like the SWAC divisions, but most of the time they really have to show up every game, or they have to be the best of the conference. Where if you're in a Power 5 school, you can be one of the best, or you can be a player that plays pretty good, but then you get a real good pro day. You're going to have so many scouts at your pro day. At a school like a Southern Jackson State, you're going to have some NFL coaches at the pro day, but not as many as it would be like an event at LSU. If you've ever been to one of their pro days, it's like they're one of the best things ever. So those things that players will probably look at, because the ultimate goal for every college player, football player, well, the mass majority of them is to go to the NFL, and they're trying to find that path, and which path is greater. I don't know if SWAC would be the best thing. Naturally you get education, but naturally these kids want to play in the NFL. So, I'm glad that he's involved in it. I think it's going to bring something to the division, but if it was up to us, I'm pretty sure we'd still be at LSU.
Yeah. Last one for you. We'll get you out of here. As a football coach, you hear the name Mike Leach, and what do you think?
Air raid. Naturally he's going to sling that thing around. He's going to make you defend sideline to sideline. Ball's going to be flying everywhere. He's going to come with something. He always do, something different. first game of the year is always tough against someone like him because he has so many play designs. It's just crazy. But I like our chances. I like our secondary. I like the fact that, the ball's going to be in the air. So hopefully we should come down with a few.
Looking to see, can't wait to see 2-4 in his second season with his crew back there in the defensive backfield, and looking forward to the recap next Tuesday morning. Coach, have a good week, and we'll talk to you next. Next Tuesday.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Thank
you so much, Coach.
Derek Stingley Sr. checking in here on this Tuesday morning. That Conversation Weekly brought to you by City Cafe. Stop in and see Cody Miranda, Squeaky Miranda, Dirk, and the crew. Make sure and ask them about their boiled shrimp that they're serving up every day. If you're in for lunch today, check out the charbroiled oysters. They bring us that conversation with Sting Sr. every Tuesday here on Off the Bench. Your mailbag questions next.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Brought to you daily by Lanois Insurance Agency. We're a day away, boys. Musso, T-Bob, tomorrow, 10 a.m. We're heading towards Lutcher as we're going to eat the catfish with Randy and the crew. They've got the whole front room taken up where we're headed to in Lutcher. Not just going to be us and the Lanois, boys. They're bringing the crew out.
Okay, I'm down. Let's do
LANOIX agency.com, 749-5640 is the phone number. If you need auto insurance, home insurance, business insurance, flood insurance, they're ready for you over at Lanois. Remember, get in touch with them this morning, LANOIX agency.com. We're going to No Bills in Lutcher tomorrow. We'll see you there at 11:30, 11:15.
Sweet. No Bills when you the Lanois. Sounds like it's on them. I'm in. Let's do it. I can't wait to eat some catfish, man. Also, Lanois coming through for me again. Got pulled over the other day. Didn't have the new insurance card, the new whip. Hit up BG. A text message later. Cops are, kind of off my butt, but I'm good to go is the point. LanoisAgency.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Esther and Annie. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat driven by Bayou Ford.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet and an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
whether you're looking to go out with friends, the answer for lunch, dinner, brunch, it's always City Cafe.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Haney, presented by Richard Honda from noon to 3. Chris Doring of the SEC Network comes in for his Tuesday hit. Hunt Palmer with us for an hour. And also Kat Terrell of The Athletic recaps the Saints versus Raiders in Vegas on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Did you see this story out of Indianapolis on Sunday? Colts linebacker Darius Leonard, after the 28-11 win over the Vikings, tried to make a kid's day by throwing the gloves that he wore during the game up into the stands. A couple of kids caught him, right?
Go home. The NFL secret agents must have busted that thing up.
Go home with the gloves. Kid pulls the gloves off of his hand. He's got Darius Leonard's wedding ring on.
Oh, okay, that took
inside the glove.
I did not expect that.
When Leonard took his glove off, he had, I guess, pinched his wedding ring inside of the glove. His aunt, the kid's aunt, tweets to Darius Leonard that he made a good gesture by giving him the gloves, but a plot twist that his wedding ring was accidentally in the gloves. Darius Leonard responded to the tweet by saying, "I need that."
The ultimate plot twist is the family's like, "Nah, man, you gave us the gloves. So, sorry, dude.
Ring's ours, man. How much do you want for the ring?"
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a good little story out of Indianapolis this weekend.
They're giving him back the ring,
Yeah,
of course. You give him like a sign ball or something.
Everything worked out.
Okay, I thought where that story's going. I mean, if we're finding $100,000 for hell, if we're buying $350,000 for no masks, I thought like you were going to have NFL security drop out of the rafters and just tackle this kid and be like, separate from the gloves immediately. But I guess good for
Darius Leonard, you're out of the league.
Yeah, for real. I mean, you're done, dude. That's a $250K fine.
Maybe they'll do that to Breeze after his performance last night.
Wow.
OTB Mailbag, here's the latest edition.
Little adversity.
I have this special delivery for
y'all are all
look,
panicking.
It is marked most urgent.
They'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
It could be worse. You could have Carson Wentz.
With that contract.
Who? Carson Wentz.
Who?
Yeah.
OTB Mailbag.
Give me Joey.
Yeah, just not the kicker. Leave the kicker back there. He can still stay.
Bum.
All
right,
He's
we
bum.
can't get into this. Questions.
Jordy, what are the viewing options for whiskey and wine?
We're on all platforms this year. We're on YouTube Live. We're on Facebook. Anywhere that Facebook Live. I think those are the two streaming platforms that we're from. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can watch on YouTube Live and you can watch on Facebook Live.
Can you guys play the Jordy Coach O voicemail?
What is this? This is from.
Is this
This is from right when he was hired as a defensive line coach.
Okay, yeah,
and this was with Collada and the Prince. He was a weekly guest every Tuesday morning. He came on at 7:30 with Derek and I when he was out of football, and then Miles decided to hire him as a defensive line coach. And the first Tuesday that he was not with us on the radio, we kind of like fake called him on the air, and we had got him to record a fake voicemail as if his voicemail would pick up when we called, and he said something like, "Hey, this is Coach O. I'm out recruiting the best players in America for LSU football. Go Tigers." And it went viral. Sports Illustrated picked it up. Yahoo picked it up. It was everywhere. But at that time, we didn't have the capability of like podcasting and on demand like we do now. I mean, James Harrelson was like, people are emailing me about this sound that we did at 7:30. What are we going to do? I'm like, I have no idea. I mean, Derek was like, I have no idea. We called like texting Gordy and get in touch with like Haley Burns at the time was our promotions director. I mean, you talk about a blast from the past. I mean, but that was
Do you still have the voicemail?
Well, I don't have the voicemail.
I couldn't find it. We were talking about it one other day, and I immediately went and tried to look for it, and I couldn't.
All right, that's fine.
Necessarily get
We'll
it.
find it. We'll find it one day, though.
OTB Mailbag, how much of a beating is all the pre, post, during game coverage to work, or do y'all really enjoy it?
So last year, I did a 5-hour pregame show. I would then go to the game, and then I would go cover the after-game stuff, and then deal with traffic, go home. So that's a long day. That's like a 12, 15-hour day or something. But it was awesome. I actually, I don't know. Much like playing football, game day is the most fun. It's the most work. but it's simultaneously the most fun. So no, I never feel like it's a grind or anything. Maybe like one time where maybe partied too hard on like a Friday the night before. That'll set you down a bad way. But if you're responsible and you're not hungover, it's a super fun day.
Different task for your boy this year. I'm going to do a pregame and a postgame with whiskey and wine. That's a long day. I usually end up passing out somewhere along the way in whiskey and wine just because of my inability to drink alcohol. But so I don't know. I'm a little nervous about this season. Doing the pregame.
You're doing the pre, and then I think we're doing the scoreboard.
You guys are doing the scoreboard.
And I'm doing companion.
Then we'll have the game. Then off the whiskey and wine. I mean, a lot of those days, I mean, I'll fall asleep during the game and then wake up and act like I saw it. So I mean, I don't know how I'm going to pull the faking off here with the pre and the post. So you know how it is.
Favorite beverage.
Sorry, go.
Favorite beverage to drink while watching football. That's an easy one.
Beer.
Yeah. Give me a nice cold beer.
I like whiskey too, though. Whiskey's second on that list.
Dan, you got one?
Sake is third.
Give me water.
Danny,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just beer.
Danny, you've been pretty quiet the morning after here. You got a take on the Saints? What's the deal, bro?
I think Drew Brees isn't trash, but I think this is last year.
Yeah.
And they're going to come back, beat the Packers. Watch.
We'll give Danny some more room to expound in that third hour OT as we continue to break down last night's Monday night.
I see the plan.
No. I'm just saying.
Okay, you hide him until 9 o'clock.
No, that's where I let Danny and Musso flex their takes.
Okay.
Next question.
Wine for me.
That's a good one.
From Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Wow.
Best thing to put in armadillo eggs.
I don't know what an armadillo egg is.
I don't either, and I really feel like I don't want to know.
Oh, is that what they're calling the eggs that Coco put in the gumbo?
I have no idea.
I do love a boiled egg that is soaked in gumbo for 2 days. Yeah. It's one of the best parts of the bowl.
And I love potato salad on top of my gumbo.
Yep.
I like it on the bottom. I do I cover it like a sea floor. I do like a base.
Use it like the rice, basically.
But then I put rice on top of it.
Oh, that's heavy.
Double up on the double up on the
That's
carbs.
a heck of a spoonful there, too.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Look, don't go half-stepping, okay?
I've done that before. I've done that before, too.
That's how you get hurt in football. You can't go half-stepping into the hole or the gumbo.
OTB Mailbag, how many games will Jordy be tossed from this year for yelling at the refs for blowing calls at Lil J's games?
Over-under set at 2.
I'm nervous about it.
Just
2.5. Over-under set at 2.5.
Yeah, don't give him an out.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay in the flag league. We started tackle practice yesterday. 3-hour practice, didn't touch a football.
Wow. 3 hours.
I don't know, man.
That's a hard practice.
It's hard to practice football. How old are y'all? Like 9?
I don't know. I'm not the coach on this one.
All right.
I could get thrown out.
OTB Mailbag, in memory of tailgating, what is your favorite tailgate food?
Jambalaya.
Chicken wings are good tailgate food. Jambalaya is a good tailgate.
Jambalaya is just so filling and delicious, and there's a ton of it that you can make. And it is, it just feels easy. Like, even wings are great, but your hands are going to get dirty and stuff, and you're going to have to clean them off.
Now, if you flip the script and go to the spring or the summer and you're at a regional, it's tough to beat a good crawfish boil tailgate outside of the box.
Yeah, that
is tough to beat.
I've got a ton of respect and love for anybody that gets out there on a Friday and starts their tailgate process to where they begin to present and begin to eat on a Saturday. So anything good smoked, like a pork butt, brisket, something over the night.
With all that.
Yeah, I mean, that's great tailgate for me. I mean, that to me, the tailgate, you really start to feel it on Thursdays around. That's what I'm going to miss most about football season is not seeing RV parking lot, the flags flying, the smells, the sights, the sounds.
Hey, it's the medieval tournament day. It's like I'm always talking to y'all about.
A good bike ride on a Saturday morning on a campus that's starting to fill up with tailgaters at LSU is about as good as it gets during the fall for me.
OTB Mailbag, do we see Winston this year on the field?
Okay, the only thing
I don't think so.
The only reason why I'm saying no is because after talking to the old man, a lot of what I was reading about Winston didn't square with what he told me. He said Winston was really inaccurate, like around 50%, maybe even less at times during camp. That the arm flashes and the arm talent is obvious and way better than anything the Saints have. But he didn't even beat out Taysom Hill for the 2, and I don't really think Taysom Hill's a very good quarterback. So
how about the $10 million man? Can we get him a couple of snaps?
Now, that's a better question. Where the hell was he last night? Why did you commit so much money to him if you aren't going to involve him in the offense?
He missed him a couple times. He was open and just didn't throw the ball.
But I'm saying I feel like he needs even a bigger, like,
I agree with you.
touches.
I agree with you.
2 or 3 touches does not dictate $10 million a year.
That's fair. That's fair. Favorite comfort food? What food makes you happy?
Chili.
I guess they're also paying him because he's the backup quarterback technically. Oh, chili? That is a good comfort.
I'm going to start an experiment this fall. I'm going to learn how to cook chili.
Okay.
Ooh,
It seems like a great starting
I'll
point. Like,
taste test.
it can't be that
Thank you.
hard, right?
I'm going for, I don't want runny. I don't want watery. I want a good, thick chili.
You know, you just make a good chili. Coach Stud's wife. Shout out Mama Stud Drawa. She would, for the O-line all the time, especially during winter. And you got to remember, she's from Ohio.
Are they still at Ohio State?
Yeah, still home down Ohio State. But she's from Ohio, so it was that, like, good, like, northern, like, she grew up making that chili. For me, comfort food, I mean, it's tough to beat chicken and sausage gumbo.
Gumbo was going to be my answer, too. Gumbo is going to be my answer, too.
It's just true.
Last one. Is the turnover chain overrated? Absolutely, yes, it is.
Y'all are playing right into Musso's hands here.
Feels like high school.
Like, all turnover props in college football are terrible. They all need to go away.
No,
It
dude.
is so dumb.
This is the most old man take you've ever had.
And I'm okay with that.
This is like
they're dumb.
This is your time at
Tennessee had a turnover trash can.
that was the worst.
A trash can.
But that's on Tennessee for just showing a complete lack of how other people view you. That's a lack of self-awareness.
Extreme
when
lack
you
of
think that, like, you're like, come on, I said y'all have been trashed for so long. Why they ever thought that was a good idea? I don't know.
They're all terrible.
But then the flip side of that is the Chanticleers just having like a straight up white Night's Watch outfit. They have like a badass like fur cloak with a giant double-handed claymore. Are you kidding me? That's sick, dude.
Was the Bama have the title belt or whatever?
Yeah,
Oh,
the kids
that's never
love
been
it.
done before.
The kids love it. Does LSU have one?
No. Thank God.
The national
Don't ever
champs.
do
I
it.
want a miniature
Better than
golden
that.
boot.
Absolutely.
Miniature golden boot. Every time
The
you turn it
turnover
over.
boot?
Yes, the turnover
Stupid.
boot. Make
Like a
that
chain?
happen. Yes, like a chain.
the boot on the end of a chain?
Or go like one step further and just have like an actual boot that you're just like carrying around.
That's
yeah, golden
stupid.
boot, dude.
That's stupid.
No, it's a totem to channel your energies. It makes sense to me. I love turnover chains. I got one. I want to do one more. Who overreacts more after loss? LSU or Saints fan?
Jordy.
I think it's LSU fans.
I think it's LSU
I think
fans,
college,
too.
because it makes sense. In the NFL, you can lose games and you're fine, right? College games mean a lot more, and so yes, LSU fans melt when things go badly.
Yeah. Blow New Orleans up.
I'm expecting some melt on Sunday, even if LSU wins big. We'll see.
Nick Underhill next, talking Saints.
Off the bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Brought to you today by Central Plumbing Company, online centralplumbing.org. 925-8552 is the phone number. They're online at centralplumbing.org. You want a full-service generator for your house, you can get one of those sold and installed to you today by Central Plumbing Company. But they always offer their residential and commercial plumbing services, just like they have since the mid-'70s. Get in touch with Jay Payne, Zach Payne, Brandon LeBlanc. Online, centralplumbing.org.
Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org for all of your plumbing needs. And look, we're still in storm season, unfortunately. If you're worried about losing power, Central Plumbing will sell and install you a home generator so you never have to worry again. But it's also just any plumbing issues that you have, right? It doesn't matter if it's like simple, complex. You got an old house, you got a new house. They've been at it for over 40 years. So you can't hit them with a problem they don't know how to solve. And you can trust them. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Flat rate pricing, great warranty to give you peace of mind. Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a life?
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Larry Holder joins us to recap Saints Raiders, and we preview LSU Mississippi State with Rohan Davey. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, remember the podcast is brought to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Check it out online. Coach Ed Orgeron earlier in the show, Derek Stingley Sr., and every week talking New Orleans Saints, compliments of former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette is our guy Nick Underhill, who is the author at NewOrleans.football. He also puts together the podcast that you can get wherever you subscribe to your podcast for NewOrleans.football. And if you are looking for Saints information and you are not a subscriber to NewOrleans.football, then you're really not looking for Saints information, because that's a spot where it is the best.
Fair.
Nick Underhill is with us every Tuesday morning. Nick, Taysom going to get all the reps with the ones this week?
Oh, man, that was so shockingly bad. Normally when I come on here, I'd have watched the game like 3 or 4 times and had some detailed opinions. We're going to get all the hot takes today. But, yeah, I'm still a little rattled by how that game looked. I cannot believe that, that played out the way it did. And I think, I'm not ready to sound the alarm on Breeze. I know everybody else is right there on the edge. I'm going to wait a little bit to see how it goes. But, look, he's 41, and it's 2 weeks in a row. And, I think it is fair to have an eye on it. So, there's a lot to figure out before playing the Packers.
Nick, I was told in the offseason that the Saints had the best roster in the NFL. And yes, their quarterback is 41, and they were without their best player in Mike Thomas last night. What was the most concerning part of what you saw?
Well, I probably told you they had the best roster. I'll stand by that, though. I think a lot of it was execution-based. So, I don't want to sugarcoat or right side a loss that looked as bad as that looked. But, a lot of stuff, the penalties, over 100 yards in penalties, missed tackles, missed assignments, not covering Darren Waller, not adjusting the things that were happening. I thought a lot of stuff happened on defense. There was just – it was nonsensical. They were getting out-gapped on plays, and, they were just setting up, and the Raiders were taking advantage of them. And the way that John Gruden and his staff was calling that game is typically how Sean Payton calls the game.
Yeah,
and
it did.
It's a great point. It's a great point I hadn't considered.
It felt very similar. I agree.
Yeah, and they just found the weak points, and it was just a relentless attack. And the fact that they never adjusted. At some point in the third quarter, they started bracketing Darren Waller a little bit, but by then it's the damage is already done, and he's already had wide open plays. And this is the one guy you have to stop, and they don't stop him. But these are the mistakes that I think they can fix. I don't think it's hugely talent based. The safeties look terrible during this game. 1 to 3 or 4, however many they played. I don't think that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is a bad player. I don't think Malcolm Jenkins is a bad player. Maybe he isn't as good as he looked in week 1. We'll see how it goes. But, I think there's still something there. But he was probably the worst player on the field, and I don't think that's going to be the case every single week. So there is stuff to fix, but it's just shocking that they got out-coached really on defense the way they did.
Yeah, I mean, the Waller stuff is still inexplicable to me. I love your breakdown in your kind of quick reaction where you show that it wasn't just one guy getting beat. Waller literally worked through the entire defense almost to a man getting catches. But you mentioned fixable issues, Nick, and let's bring it back to Breeze then, and then let's talk about the accuracy. And look, I'm not talking about completion percentage or anything like that. I'm just talking about these easy throws that we're used to Breeze seeing, doing in his sleep. Sometimes they're at the ankles now, or they're behind, or they're a little ahead. It just seems like everything's a bit off. And what worries me is there wasn't a ton of pressure last night. And so what do you think? Are the issues that we're seeing out of Breeze, are those fixable?
So the accuracy stuff is what's really super concerning. And the throw to Josh Hill in this game, late in the game, I think it was maybe in the fourth quarter towards the right sideline, was just I don't understand how that happens with Drew Brees. He's supposed to be the most accurate passer of all time. And, I sat here all night kind of trying to develop some theories. And, I have no idea if there's any merit to this. But all the stuff we heard about him working on throwing down the field, I wonder if that caused something mechanically that's screwing him up, in the short area stuff. Or maybe he's just old, and that's the problem. If it's the first one, you can get Tom House out here. He does his, little tune-ups, and he can come out and fix some of that stuff, and you're back on track. The down the field stuff, yeah, I mean, he can throw a ball 35, 40 yards straight and hit it. We saw it in camp. We saw it happen in week 1. But I do think that Mike Thomas, being as good as he is, hid some of the stuff down the field that people are now seeing, because in week 1, Carlton Davis takes him out. This week, he's out with the ankle injury. And now Drew has to look other places. He can't throw 153 passes to Mike first read like he did last year, and it's hidden. He hits him on that 5-6 yard slant, and he's not throwing to Traquan Smith on the other side getting open. You don't notice Traquan Smith. And now you do. You have to see all the other stuff that's going on. And I think some of the stuff that was hidden by Mike Thomas has come to light. You had the accuracy to it, and it looks like a little, situation brewing. And if it is age and he isn't accurate, I don't know how you come back from that. They can still probably find a way to win around him, but if they do win games, I don't think you're going to look at very many and say it's because of Drew. But I'm not there yet. I'm willing to wait and see how it goes, to see if he bounces back. I think a lot of stuff's out of sync right now. You take Mike out, that's a huge loss. He's a $100 million man for a reason. But it is definitely something that I think everybody needs to be looking at. And if it happens again, I don't know if you can say, if, then, maybe.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You mentioned the absence of Mike Thomas. I mean, this entire football season is really making me reevaluate how I think about elite wide receivers. When you look at guys struggling after they lost one and guys having a lot of success after they gain one. One receiver last night that I thought I was going to see a bit more out of, or I guess just ball player, would have been Taysom Hill. Nick, I mean, obviously we highlighted Alvin Kamara's, Jared Cook as guys that would likely have a pickup slap. Love what I saw out of Traquan Smith, but it kind of felt like Taysom Hill was nowhere to be found. And when it comes at a $10 million price tag, what did you think about his usage last night?
I thought it was going to be a Taysom game. Really the whole plan, I thought it would be a very creative game plan. I thought we were going to see a lot of different stuff. I thought this would be a game where Sean really got deep into his bag of tricks and schemed his way around it. But really the way they approached this game was a lot more basic that we usually see from them. About 60% of the snaps were their 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers on the field. And, they just normally aren't that vanilla. They only used 8 personnel packages. 2 or 3 of them were jumbo looks with an extra offensive lineman. So it was a very straightforward approach. And, for whatever reason, Taysom wasn't really in that plan much. Leading up to the game, I know they wanted to get Deontay Harris involved a lot, but, he had that play to start the game. Then he dropped the pass over the middle, and it kind of went away from him. But Taysom, this seems like his time to shine. I agree with you totally. You lose your best player. I think Taysom's, I don't know where he ranks on that list of guys, but he's definitely your most unique player, and he's the way that you can keep the defense off balance and maybe gain that advantage back that you lose with Mike. But, he just wasn't in there. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff that happened yesterday, really 2 weeks in a row now that has been, just a little bit confusing.
Nick Underhill here with us weekly, presented by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. As you can read his work at neworleans.football. There is a good read with a quick take from last night's loss to the Las Vegas Raiders. What's the grace period on off-season pickups like Malcolm Jenkins and Emmanuel Sanders? What should our expectations be about these new faces?
I think it should be pretty high. They spent a lot of money on both those guys. Malcolm, I thought was one of the better players in week one. Yesterday, it was really bad. The coverage was bad, and it wasn't just on Waller. He gave up a 31-yard pass. I think it was 31 yards to
Foster,
the guy from LSU. Yeah, Foster Moreau. That was a really bad play. Some of the stuff from run defense, you saw him not making the greatest efforts. But that was all the safeties all the way down the list. And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson had some bad plays. P.J. Williams had some bad plays. Marcus Williams, again, struggled with his tackling. So, for those guys, I don't know. We'll see how it goes in week 3. I'm a little bit more concerned about Emmanuel Sanders because, 2 weeks in a row, he hasn't done much. And really, Traquan Smith did what you thought Emmanuel Sanders was going to do in this game. And Emmanuel Sanders was just kind of invisible, drop pass. He had an 18-yard reception late once it really didn't matter anymore. But, he's struggling with picking stuff up. Last week, he said that, with all the different personnel groupings they use and personnel packages, that he has trouble knowing when he's supposed to go in the game or not. And they'll call stuff out, and he doesn't know if he's supposed to be staying on the sideline or going into the game. So there's just stuff that he's picking up, and he's not up to speed yet. And it's hard to hold that all the way against him considering, no OTAs, no mini camp, no preseason games. But the fact is, you're here under these circumstances. It's week 2. Like, you have to know it, and you got to be producing when the best receiver on the team is on the field and you're the number 2 guy. So it's, I'd say at this point with him, it's not what it's supposed to be. There's still a long way to go, but I would assume there's probably a little bit of frustration that he's not where he needs to be right now.
Nick, unfortunately, we only get to talk to you once a week, meaning that, let's look forward. Okay, short week. Packers coming to town. Packers looking damn good through 2 weeks. How are you feeling about Sunday?
After the way this one just went, it's a little bit worrying that that's the team and on a short week. The Saints are going to have to rely on this talent that we think they have. They're supposed to be a really good team. The depth is supposed to be really good. You got to fix this stuff. And I think if the Saints, somehow magically found a way to fix everything that ailed them on defense, even if Drew is having a weird game, their defense is supposed to be good enough to give them a shot. But the secondary wasn't good. I don't know what Cam Jordan, I haven't noticed him much the last 2 weeks. There's just a lot of stuff that's not coming together the way it should. And this is such a corny answer, but like right now it just feels like the Saints versus Saints. Like they're supposed to be good. First week felt like a loss. This week was a loss. They just got to sort it out and get it together. But if they're having these issues, it's not going to be, a pretty game, and the tone around this team is going to change drastically if this one looks like the first 2.
NewOrleans.football is the site. Get over there and subscribe today if you want your information on New Orleans Saints football. It is the best, and it's not debatable. And check out the podcast as well. It's a great listen to catch you up on all things New Orleans Saints. Check out the Tuesday Hit every week with Nick Underhill right here on Off the Bench, presented by former LSU Tiger and current attorney Chris Perrette. Thank you, Nick. Have a good week. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Yep, take it easy.
Yep. All right, Nick. We'll close that hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Kalana and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota brings you off the bench.
Brings me.
Brings you T-Bob and that slick mini.
Yep, and the murdered out mini. They did also bring me a great rental car yesterday.
Dropped it off.
Well, I have my other car, which is transmission shot. That's at DG&B. And then I needed to rent a car, so I hit up your girl, Lisa Sessions.
Yep.
Unlike you, I'm not planning on wrecking said rental.
Easy.
But yeah, very excited. Shout out Tom Wagenspec, Lisa, and everybody else. They made it super easy, dude. Like, I was in a tough spot, right? And you know what they actually did? I thought I was going to have to Uber over there. They sent a shuttle over.
Big mouth.
They did a shuttle over. They pick me up. They bring me over there. I get the car. Super easy. Hey, look, Lisa told you. I mean, what am I going to say? The skeletons are out. But yeah, it was awesome, man. The point is, it's indicative of the customer service. They are there for you. I needed a car. I was in a bad way. They will pick you up. You can rent it super easily for the weekend, however long you need it.
And they work with insurance companies. Online, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Join us for a Monday edition of Game Time with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. We're live from Superior Grill on Highland Road for our Monday Night Football watch party. Come watch the game or tune in from 6 to 8 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, my DMs are on steroids right now with chili recipes. I appreciate it. If you want to jump inside the DMs, feel free, or you can email me at jordy@1045espn.com. Shout out to a loyal listener in Craig Schilling this morning. We teased you a little over 45 minutes ago about a voicemail that we had put together with Ed Orgeron 6 years ago here on this station when he was announced as the defensive line coach for LSU football. This is when Les Miles was still leading the program. He was a regular with us, with Derek and I, on Tuesday mornings when it was Colada and the Prince. The first Tuesday that he was away, we fake called him and played this voicemail.
Hi, this is Coach Ed Orgeron with LSU football. Sorry I can't take your call right now, but I'm out recruiting the best football players in the country for LSU. Hold that tiger.
And that was it.
That was it.
That was it. Wow. Shout out to Craig Schilling for finding that.
The GOAT.
So, I mean, Schilling.
He's
He's got to have a library
He's the GOAT.
of 104.5 ESPN. Just the content that he has saved.
We used to do Meme Monday. He would always kill Meme Monday back in the day.
Shout out to Schilling for not only listening, but for helping us out here on the fly this morning.
More memes.
Hour 3 from T-Bob. He is going to, I guess, lay the case for Drew Brees. What is it?
So you said
what do you do with a 40-year-old quarterback?
Nope. You said that your inbox was on steroids right now.
Yep.
Chili recipes. If you eat all that chili, there's some different roids you're going to have to worry about.
There it is.
All right.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Put that one on a T for you, brother.
The different roids. I'm talking about hemorrhoids.
What's coming up in hour 3?
We didn't. No one got it.
I just want to make sure.
In case anybody's confused out there that we're still talking about steroids, it's actually talking about hemorrhoids.
Which I've dealt with a lot in my life. So if you need any hemorrhoids advice, hit me up.
Since you've lost all the listeners for hour 3, tell the vacant land on what you're going to be talking about.
Well, for those that are still remaining, thank you. We appreciate you. We will continue to break down the Saints game. Like we said, we'll let Musso and Danny start to crack it open here, see what they're into. Maybe touch on a little bit of basketball as it's back tonight. I mean, I'm really
What's your
struggling.
basketball take?
I'm really nothing.
Yeah, right.
Nothing. The basketball take is
LSU tips off in 5 weeks. We'll be good.
I'm excited to see LeBron. Yeah, and then we'll get into obviously some LSU Mississippi State keys. Right, I'm thinking about some of the things that Coach O said earlier. I'm a bit worried about the offensive line depth, right, and what happens there. And he was very upfront about that.
You mentioned the true freshman.
You mentioned the fact that we asked him what's the key to stopping an air raid. He said pass rush. Well, who is the pass rush?
Allie Gaye.
LSU. Allie Gaye, Trevez Moore, who he mentioned. And then we'll have Brody Miller on, who just put an awesome article up in The Athletic that says this about Allie Gaye. Gaye is a Muslim, a devout one. He's a 6'6" defensive lineman born in the Gambia in West Africa who moved to Seattle area when he was 12. He was a soccer player. He speaks 3 different languages fluently and knows a good amount, or 5 or 6 of them.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Sliding his DMs.
What a character.
Hour 3 coming up next. OTBOT.
Off the bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Brought to you daily by Oshner Sports Medicine Program. They got 3 locations: Baton Rouge, here in the Grove Boulevard, up in New Orleans on South Clearview Parkway, down in New Orleans, and up on the North Shore in Covington on Oshner Boulevard. It doesn't matter if you're a professional athlete, a weekend warrior, an ancient athlete, somewhere in between. If you're active and out there, but you're got some aches and pains, Oshner Sports Medicine Institute has what you need to get you back into the game, on the court, in the pool, on the floor, as quickly and as safely as possible. Learn about all the methods online at oshner.org.
Oshner.org, oshner.org. If you do have to have surgery, trust that you could not go in a better setup. Me and Jordy got to tour the ORs and the recovery rooms, and they are unreal. The OR allows the doctors to operate like never before in terms of technology and the advantages that they have. But even things in the recovery room, like the hallway has antimicrobial paint. The blankets are copper infused to kill stuff. They are the best. Go to oshner.org today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And and I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, September the 22nd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see thunderstorms with a high of 75. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Coming up today on OTB-OT, the Athletics' Brody Miller stops by at 9:30. Talk some LSU football. You follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch live over at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Get inside the Bayou Ford chat. And make sure you subscribe and set your notifications for both the Off the Bench YouTube channel and the Off the Bench Overtime YouTube channel. New content are posted both of those places daily. OTB-OT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What is up, y'all? What's going on? Welcome in hour number 3 of OTB-OT. It is a post-game Tuesday. As the Saints were on Monday Night Football last night, they lose to the Raiders 34-24 in their brand new stadium. No people in the stands. Not even Davis. Mark Davis saying that he does not want to be in the stands until the fans can be, and they've already said they're not going to be in there all year long. But that said, the stadium looked pretty awesome last night, I thought. I like that eternal flame thing. The thing was pretty sick looking. With the skyline of Vegas behind it. The real field was spectacular. Rolling in and out. I will say, though, I can't help but be struck by some, I think I tweeted last night, but there's a real Tower of Babel-esque feeling to all of these brand new, ostentatious, over-the-top luxury stadiums that stand completely empty. Are we flying too close to the sun? I don't know. But the stadium was awesome. Unfortunately, it was not awesome for the New Orleans Saints, as they looked really bad. And we've been breaking it down all morning. Obviously, most of that conversation has centered around Drew Brees and how you feel about his performance. Is he done? I don't think he's done. I'm kind of with Nick. I got to see a larger sample size before I get rid of 15 years of success. I mean, even in the last 2 years, he's been so spectacular. Highest passer ratings of his career. Set the NFL record in back-to-back years for completion percentage. Won 13 games each year. Like, this was just the last 2 seasons. So that's why I'm saying maybe pump the brakes on declaring him dead just yet. Now, there are reasons that have me more concerned than I ever have been before. And the main reason is the accuracy. And, I mean, you even heard Nick there. When Nick, and maybe when he watches the film more in depth, he'll have a greater idea. But when Underhill can't come up with a reason that he saw on film for those struggles in the same way that I could not. Like, we arrived at those thoughts independently of each other. That he's inaccurate, but we can't fully explain why. It wasn't like the Vikings game. There's pressure or anything like that. That is why I'm maybe more concerned than I have been. But I still think the years of success have to give you some bit of doubt. So I don't want to spend a ton of time on Brees, but let's do a final check-in here before we move on from Brees. Let's talk about some other aspects of the game and then get into LSU Mississippi State as it is game week. Let's go. We got Brody Miller coming up at 9:30 to talk about LSU Mississippi State as well. Musso and Danny, hop on the mics here. Give me your final takes and verdicts on Drew Brees. Are you still riding with him, or are you like Jordy, where Jordy's off? He's off. He thinks he's bad now.
Not off of him. I'm closer to being off of him than I ever have been. Just because the last 3 times we've seen him out there, he's not been good.
That is fair. I did see some stuff going even back to that Vikings game from last season, throwing that in the mix because the statistically very similar struggles in all 3.
It's looked just about the same. We talked a lot off air today about the difference is he wasn't under pressure last night like he was against Minnesota,
which is the most worrying.
Which is very worrying. But the air yards attempts or whatever were the same. The offense just seemed stagnant. It didn't really. I mean, remember I hate to go back to the Vikings game. Remember what turned that game was the scoop and score that ended up getting overturned.
Yeah,
everybody was jacked for that because that was what you needed in that game because your offense couldn't move the ball.
Yeah,
that's much how last night felt. Whenever you had the fumble late in the game, you recover it, but your offense still couldn't move the ball. That was their shot to get back in it. After that, it was probably over before that, but after that, it was really over. So I'm not off of him, but I'm close because the accuracy's not there, and he wasn't under pressure last night, and he just doesn't look comfortable.
He doesn't look comfortable. So let's expound on that in a second. But first, Danny, the floor is yours. How are you feeling? And Danny, to be clear, is probably knows the most about the Saints in the group, I would say, and covers them closely. Like he definitely when we talk. So how are you feeling, Danny, today about your New Orleans Saints?
Yeah, I mean it's way too early to hit the all-out panic button.
Yep.
I think we need a bigger sample size, just like Nick said. Yeah, Drew Brees hasn't shown us a lot, and I think he's going to get better eventually as the season goes on.
So what do y'all think about what Musso just said there at the end? Because I think there's something there about does Brees just look uncomfortable right now? And here I am going to wildly speculate, okay? And that's what we do after 2 weeks. Like we said, we love to make grand sweeping conclusions with small amounts of information. It's very fun to do.
Talk radio.
Exactly, right? So I'm going to speculate here. And let's also remember this. If you're looking for maybe hopeful silver linings, or if you're just like T-Bob, just give me a glass half full that I can adopt, do remember that the NFL is the ultimate kind of bounce-back league. Your conclusions from 1 week look wild the next week, and teams always just tend to play better than they did. It's a very much like a water kind of finds its level league. So I think there's a lot of although like today, thinking about Packers-Saints feels terrible. It feels like a massacre. I in no way, shape, or form think that's going to be a massacre. But if I do want to just engage with some of my darkest fears that I don't know if they're logical, and maybe I'm just reading too much into things, are y'all getting different body language signals from Brees? Is that just a byproduct of struggling? But like he just looked a little more checked out. Maybe there's like a little. And this sounds really dumb here because there's no like logical basis for this or no numbers that I can point to, but he kind of had this almost like far off type of stare that I'm not used to seeing out of him. Not that like
he
just
doesn't
fully locked in.
I was about to say, he doesn't look locked in,
Yeah.
like Drew Brees has in the past, and that's concerning as well because you've heard all those reports that he was done at the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Well, and like the let it loose quote feels way differently today than it did then. Like when I heard that quote originally, that felt like, hell yeah, I'm on the warpath. Like I'm here to kill, okay? I'm here to go to the Super Bowl. Now it feels a bit more like, I don't know what I got left.
They even highlighted that quote on the broadcast last night as he took the field for the first time, which makes it even worse that the performance he turned in happened to be that. I mean, at halftime, he was completing 50% of his passes?
It feels like now let it loose was more like, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go, but screw it. We're going to do this thing no matter what. Also, this maybe explains why that Saints secondary looks so good in camp if we want to go real conspiratorial, although I still think the Saints secondary is very good. I think it'll be borne out over time. So I don't think that take is fully accurate, but it might explain some of the over-the-top success we were hearing out of that secondary.
His receivers didn't help him out either. So we got to look at that. Like
Yes.
Drop balls everywhere.
Okay, you're right, Danny. We're getting bogged down in the
free
breeze.
agent that they brought in didn't show up at all.
Yeah, we're getting bogged down in the breeze. Let's because there are other extenuating
But
factors.
before that, what do you make of his decision making so far through 2 games as well?
I see. That's the thing. I think his decision making's been fine. He's just not hitting the throws. I mean, the interception was horrendous. But
but
the Jared Cook. Granted, there was OPI there, but the Jared Cook was good. Some of those the crossing routes that he's not hitting are fine. Like to me, I actually don't think I'm worried about this decision making. To be honest, I think the play calling at times has been a little.
And Sean Payton has said that himself.
Yeah,
Sean Payton's put a lot of onus on himself with the play calling.
Well, and so that's the thing. It is a team sport, and as much as Breeze has struggled, he is just maybe the main factor in a ton of factors that went into last night. I mean, the ones that I can't get away from are obviously the penalties. You give them up over another football field worth of yards in penalties. They had 3 penalties for 13. They're 10 for 129. I believe the Saints secondary is the most penalized secondary in the NFL right now, which if you're a longtime Saints fan, you're having Brandon Browner flashbacks here, and you might be feeling a little sweaty under your pits. I get it. I am too. So that's a huge problem they have to get fixed. I mean, and then I can't get away from third down. 10 of 17 on third down for the Raiders. Derek Carr goes 9 of 10 for 98 yards and a touchdown on third down. 9 of 10. And the wildest part about that, y'all, a lot of them were 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 7.
It wasn't just dinking and dunking.
No, it was like you were winning 1st and 2nd down significantly. You were stopping the run. You were getting pressure. You were sacking him. You just could not get off the field. And the cumulative effect that has on an entire game, well, it goes to affect Breeze as well, because all of a sudden then they run 20 more plays than you. They're on the field for another quarter than you. You heard Breeze allude to it after the game. I think they were at 7 offensive possessions. Like you have literal possessions taken away from you. And then even if you have a very good defense, which I actually still think the Saints have a very good defense. Like I saw a lot of good things. It was just that situationally they were bad last night. And I don't care how good you are, when you're on the field that long, you just get physically, mentally, and emotionally demoralized. And you'll break. And so that 3rd and 10 run where the Raiders were just basically trying to run a little more clock off and then kick a field goal, that 3rd and 10 run that turned into a touchdown, that was a result of not getting off the field on 3rd down. Ultimately, even more so than Breeze's struggles, not getting off on 3rd down was the driving force behind last night's result. It was the main force. And that is fixable, which makes me feel good.
Actually, I saw a comment in the chat like if we don't get that pass interference call at the end, I have a really
you got a good shot
that Drew Brees marches down the field and at least gets a field goal.
He'll threaten. He would threaten. Like if nothing else,
he was hot at the end. He saw the drive. Yeah.
And great quarterbacks tend to excel in 2-minute situations, which is kind of funny because we were all saying that, and then he threw that pick that ended up kind of flipping the entire game on its heel. But traditionally, I mean, yes, Drew Brees is great in that spot, and I agree. If you had it, and for anybody who thinks that was ticky-tack, you can't grab the arm. You can't grab the arm.
That was pass interference, and that was the whole goal of that play.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, that does seem
the entire goal of what they were doing.
That is kind of the legitimate strategy against the Saints team right now is just bomb it, and they will do the rest for you in terms of the hand fighting. But like, yeah, and that was Jackrabbit on that last one, right? He knows that. I mean, he's played enough football. You can't grab that arm. Ironically, the bad throw, I think, almost put him in a worse spot. Because if the throw was more on target, it would have been more like, oh, I'm fighting for the ball, hand fighting. But when it was so over the top, you could just clearly see that he kind of hooked that arm a little bit.
It's
and
like he felt like he was beat and just instinctively.
Yeah.
Even though there was no threat of that ball ever being caught.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it does look like. Now, you can't rule it uncatchable because it was close enough so that I don't think you called uncatchable. But
right.
But yes, I don't think he was going to grab it. I don't think he had a chance at it. So disappointing, man. Disappointing. But look, it's the NFL. Okay. I don't think there's any need to panic just yet. You play a lot of games, a lot of football left to be played. The division isn't doing anything special. You got 2 0-2 teams with you, and the Bucs are 1-1, and you already beat them. Heads up. So you're not in a bad spot. If anything, like it's okay that you are where you are, considering how we've talked. You'd think they would have been like the Bears or something up to this point, which the Bears are 2-0. So technically, the Bears are ahead of you in the schedule, which is just wild to think about. The Bears are the worst 2-0 team ever. All right. Last thing here before we move on from Saints talk, I will say that Alvin Kamara, I thought he was spectacular last night. I feel like, unfortunately, because it was a loss and because there's so much to break down, we didn't really highlight any of the good. We mentioned Onyemata, he had the big sack. Hendrickson still continues to produce. But yeah, I think Traquan Smith, 5 catches, 86 yards, run blocking very well. Also for Traquan Smith, doesn't get a lot of credit there. That's one of his strengths. So on me, I should have been highlighting that earlier. But yeah, Alvin Kamara looks like Alvin Kamara, which is excellent.
He's healthy.
Because you are missing Michael Thomas. Make no mistake. His absence, it's a correlation causation thing where they don't necessarily equal. Like his absence is not why Breeze has been so bad, but it is a contributing factor. And we're seeing it all throughout the NFL. We talked about it yesterday. But Alvin Kamara, he does do a lot to kind of alleviate that absence. Then when Thomas gets back and is healthy, if Kamara continues to play this way, well, then teams are going to be really threatened. I mean, look at last night. 13 carries, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns, 9 catches for 95 yards. It's 22 touches for 174. That's an average of 8 yards per touch. So a lot of good things from Kamara. But that's about it. Him and Traquan and the 2 defenders that I mentioned. So turn the page. You lose this game. You got to suck it up. Short week. Green Bay coming to town. And after Green Bay, it's going to get a little easier. You're going to have the Lions, Chargers, Panthers, and Buccaneers. You should 3-1 that stretch if you're as good as we believe you are. So we'll have to see. All right, coming up next, let's talk some LSU football. Looking forward to a little LSU Mississippi State. And then we got Brody Miller coming up at 9:30. Stick around, share the stream, everything else here on OTBOT.
OTBOT.
Tune in Thursday night as Gardner Minshew and the Jacksonville Jaguars host Ryan Fitzmagic Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins. The NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
When it's clearance time, smart customers rush to Richard's Honda because all your favorite Honda models are at fantastic prices. And with our fanatical customer care, it's no wonder people call Richard's Honda the smart choice.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Hanny, presented by Richard's Honda from noon to 3. Chris Doring of the SEC Network comes in for his Tuesday hit. Hunt Palmer with us for an hour. And also Kat Terrell of The Athletic recaps the Saints versus Raiders in Vegas on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back, OTBOT. Nothing like some generic license-free music, bringing you back so the YouTube math gods don't strike us down like they were constantly trying to do yesterday. Good job, Danny, keeping him off our scent today. Time to go to chat. Where, look, we're trying to find some glass half full perspective. Laura Giat is handing it out in the chat right now. Saying, the Raiders, point out the Raiders have a lot of pride on the line. New stadium, new city. John Gruden out Coach Payton. We literally have a game like this every single season. That's true. And, in fact, if you wanted to go full fanboy, silver lining, optimism, let's hope for the best, glass half full, I think, like, the beginning of 2017 is probably what you would want to look at, where you lose to the Vikings 29-19 to start the season, and you did not look good in that game. Then you get blown out by the Patriots 36-20 in a game where Tom Brady is unstoppable. And what do you do after that? You rattle off, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games in a row. You finish 11-5. You get to the second round of the playoffs after beating the Panthers for a third time that year. And look, there's an extra wild card spot to go around this season as well. All you want to do is get in the dance. I mean, I'm not saying that Saints fans should adjust their expectations from one seed or anything like that just yet, but all you want to do is get in the dance. The dance is going to be wide open this year. Queese Boring Man, which is a funny name, saying that Breeze was 26-38 and had at least 5 drops. Come on, people, chill out. It's 31 of 38. The problem is I'm not looking at just the raw. I'm not looking at just the raw completion percentage numbers, right? It's where even the balls he's completed. It's where they are that has me a bit concerned. And I don't think I'm seeing some talk about the refs. I thought the refs were fine. I didn't see anything questionable there. The Emmanuel Sanders one was the only bad one. But even live action looked way more brutal than it actually did in the replay.
The refs have got to stop being a conversation of every Saints game that is played.
It is kind of the reason why Saints fans are hating us now. Or, no, excuse me, it is why Saints fans used to be universally beloved. And ever since the Nola no call, the likability of Saints fans has taken a massive hit.
It has to stop being the focus of every single game.
Yeah, now there's all the kind of memes about how we're just whiny and, stuff like that. So, yeah, I agree. Stop complaining about the refs. The refs are good last night. They were fine. You can't grab arms on routes. This is known. Look, if you enjoy Saints Talk, subscribe to our new YouTube channel, OTBOT, Off the Bench Overtime. I need to figure out what the best way to search for it is, but I'm sure if you search Off the Bench, Google search Off the Bench Overtime, and then maybe even tag on a YouTube at the end if you want. You'll get to the channel. That's where all our Saints talk and really some more general NFL talk is going to live, as our normal OTB channel is going to be all LSU. Speaking of which, and also on that Overtime channel, I will probably make an apology video to Aaron Rodgers if he beats the New Orleans Saints. If he does not, then he remains a fraud and a bum, okay? But if he beats them, then maybe we'll cross that bridge. Speaking of LSU, the Tigers, baby, it's back. It's game week. I just got goosebumps coursing down just mentioning that sentence. Saturday, 2:30, CBS, the music, Danielson, Nessler, everything. It sounds like they're going to do a Tiger Walk. It'll probably be an empty Tiger Walk, but they're doing it anyway. I mean, football is back here, and we're gonna have a great day planned for you. I think 5 hours before our coverage will start, there's gonna be a 3-hour pregame show. Me and Miss going to do a 2-hour scoreboard show into the companion stream, which is gonna be a ton of fun. We're gonna break this game down live, and it's a very interesting game to me. You have this new Bo Pelini defense with a brand new defensive line that you're trying to work in. You're going against the air raid. You're going against one of the originators of the air raids, one of the OGs, Mike Leach. Had a great quote yesterday about LSU players being like, well, I hope they're worse, but intellectually, I know they'll be better. And he's right. Actually, I wonder if he's right. Where is LSU actually better than last season? Is tight end maybe the only spot with Arik Gilbert? I think corner. You actually, ironically, could be stronger at corner even despite losing Christian Fulton.
What about linebacker? Adding Jabril Cox. You keep Damone Clark. I mean, you lose Divinity Phillips.
When you look at what Queen is doing on the NFL level right now, and Phillips, I find that hard to believe.
That's the NFL level. We're talking about in college.
I know, but but look at Queen in the Natty last year.
I know.
He was unbelievable by year's end.
I said maybe. I'm just making.
No, you're right. You're right. That would be one of the maybes. I can't say running back because Clyde was so incredible. Even though I do like that running back by approach. Can't say wide receiver. Can't say O-line.
You're not better on the defensive line. You're not better on the defensive line.
I don't know. I don't know. Why? Why not?
Well, for one, the guy who was thought to be a first-round pick is not playing for you anymore.
You lost Shelvin, but Shelvin's impact. But Shelvin's impact was
Lawrence. You lose Fehoko.
Yeah, it's true.
You
lose Lawrence.
You don't have the numbers there. You have guys, but none of them have played a lot of football.
Yeah,
you're not better on the defensive line than you were last year.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. So maybe it is just like corner, safety, and tight end potentially. Either way.
Tight end, definitely, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just saying potentially because we haven't actually seen Arik, but I mean, all the news on Arik Gilbert is that he is going to be unbelievable. So you got a lot of great storylines to play. What are you all most excited about? I think it's hard to get away from Brennan in the offense because it's kind of the obvious draw. But in a way, so if LSU is actually going to overachieve and threaten for championships this season, which is still going to be in a good spot. Like I read a lot of Bill Connolly's S&P yesterday, which is his analytic model that he's developed through the years that I actually think is very damn solid. But it's, all of these things you just take with like they're trying to predict the future, which is very hard, blah, blah, blah. But he has LSU essentially as the second best team to Bama. I think he has Bama the projected S&P record of 8-2. LSU's at 7-3. LSU has the only ceiling that can challenge Alabama. And I guess my point is, if they're going to reach that ceiling, if they're going to do that, and if they're going to threaten for championships, I actually believe, although, the offense is going to have to be good, I think it will ultimately be on that defense. I think this is a year where the defense is going to have to win you these games and let the offense come along a bit more. And so, if I believe that, then what Pelini and we see out of this defense is Saturday, and pass rushers, which are going to be critical all season long, like Trevez Moore and Ali Gaye. I mean, that's where I'm focusing on right now. How good can this defense be? The linebackers, the safeties, the corners, because it looks like they could be absolutely spectacular. Like you were talking about, Moose. So I guess not even the interior defensive line, but on the edges. That defensive end position is the single position that I am most worried about. You have a lot of attrition there. You're relying on freshmen in a lot of ways. They keep mentioning B.J. Ojulari and Phillip Webb. I love a good freshman. I hate relying on a good freshman before the season even starts.
Coach O called Ojulari the best pass rusher on the team yesterday.
Yeah, that's fair, and that's
but that can also be concerning in a way, can't
it? Exactly. And that has been now what maybe makes you feel better about it. That's been consistent throughout the offseason.
That has been consistent. He's one of the first names out of his mouth every time.
Yeah, that has not changed. So I want to see this defense on Saturday because, like I said, that's going to determine where your ceiling is. And let's see that pass rush, and let's see Ali Gaye, the new starter. And coming up next year on OTBOT, let's talk to Brody Miller about Ali Gaye, as he has a fantastic profile up on theathletic.com right now. We'll talk to Brody next here on OTBOT.
OTB-OT. Saints coverage, Chiefs, Cowboys, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night football. From the opening kickoff to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, the NFL lives on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Are you a licensed
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Larry Holder joins us to recap Saints Raiders, and we preview LSU Mississippi State with Rohan Davey. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back. OTBOT, hanging out, talking football. Feels good. Feels good. Never even got to any basketball takes. Guess I don't really have many. But right now, it's my pleasure to talk to somebody that I talk to football with every week. Brody Miller. We will be recording the brand new Game Week edition of the Hold That podcast later today. Me and Brody chop up LSU football from anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour every Tuesday. I love it. It's awesome. It's brought to you by The Athletic. If you want to help us out, athletic.com/holdthatpodcast. Get a $1 a month sign-up deal. You bums. I'm looking at my two producers behind the glass. Do you have Athletic subscriptions?
No.
Okay, well, good. Well, you are going to use this sign-up code Muso. It's $12, damn it.
You said it was $1.
And you'll get $1 a month, I'm saying. $1 a month. Chill out, dude. But the point is, you're going to get access to, the pod is free no matter what, but you're going to get access to all the great articles, including Brody Miller's work. And Brody, you have an article up today that is very relevant to our talking points. But first, welcome in. What's up, dude?
Not too much, man. Well, I mean, as I told you yesterday, I had a bit of a stomach bug yesterday, so I'm currently fighting fate and eating a biscuit and having a cup of coffee. So we're going to see how this plays out. Maybe bad stuff's going to happen on the air. I don't know.
Who's Manuel? You said Manuel. Okay. Throw a cigarette in. Throw a cigarette there, Brody. Really put your stomach to the test this morning with that coffee. Just see how recovered you are. Okay. So what I was alluding to though is that earlier we asked Coach O, what's the key to beating the air raid? He said pass rush. Okay. Well, who's responsible for the pass rush for LSU? There's a new name on that defensive end depth chart as the leader, and that's Gaye, a guy that we have barely touched on. But when you read the profile you have up right now, he's a fascinating character. What can you tell our listening audience about the 6'6" defensive end?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm man enough to admit, I mean, I was pretty darn surprised by the announcement that he was the starter. I don't think either of us saw that coming. We almost never talked about him on our show. So, hey, it's like the Clyde Edwards-Helaire thing last year. I can admit where I'm wrong. But, you know, he is a fascinating character because, I mean, I think it's safe to say he was probably, the least discussed or hyped member of the 2020 signing class, like the absolute least mentioned. I mean, he was obviously a junior college guy. But, I mean, yeah, he's 6'6", 262 pounds, has the frame, has the athleticism. And he's got a wild story. I mean, he came over from the Gambia in West Africa when he was 12 years old and, you know, wasn't even that big actually when he came over, and then was more of a soccer player and didn't start he started playing football at 9th grade, but didn't really start even focusing on that until midway through high school. And, you know, he's really raw, but University of Washington, Chris Peterson, that great program, they took a flyer on him. That's what they're really good at, is finding those upside guys. And he didn't qualify academically, so he goes there. Then he goes to Arizona Western, which is a really good JUCO program. He's there a year, develops under Tom Minnick, and then a year into there, the program shuts down. So then he follows that staff over to the Garden City in Kansas and spends another year developing, and that's where LSU and Bill Bush discovered him, and that's how he ended up at LSU. But I don't know if anybody expected him to come in day one and be a starter. So shout out to him.
Hey, so wait, how about then Bill Bush's recruiting acumen to get Gaye here? I thought it was kind of funny in the article. It just shows the links that these guys are willing to go to. How did Bill Bush convince Allie Gaye to come down to Baton Rouge?
Yeah, Bill Bush, that's one thing I've always heard. I mean, there are people way more tied in on recruiting than me, but one thing I always heard was that Bill Bush was just is an incredibly detailed recruiter. I mean, he I heard at 5:30 a.m. he basically starts a texting campaign with these guys every day. And he really does his research, and he's had a ton of successes. We've seen landing these kind of West Coast guys, these guys in Arizona and Utah, and Ollie Gaye he's a devout Muslim, and his parents are very serious Muslims, and that's a big part of their recruiting process. And LSU was the first visit, and Bill Bush knew that. So when they went on that visit, Bill Bush, from what I've heard, that was a huge part of landing them was they went the extra mile. They planned out all the meals to go with their diets. They had to meet with former Gambian athletes at LSU and talk about their experiences and how LSU takes care of them. They had to meet with Muslim outreach groups and all these things, and really the main focus was just making Ollie, and more importantly, maybe even his parents, feel comfortable, sending their kid there next 2 years, knowing he's not going to lose faith in his religion while he's there and whatnot. And I think and he committed by the end of the weekend. So clearly that worked. And Bill Bush, it's been a big few years with him recruiting wise. And I think this wasn't one of the highly touted ones, but it could turn out to be another big win.
Yeah, and Ollie Gaye is fluent in 3 languages and knows a lot of 5 or 6 of them. So just a real unreal kind of story there.
and that's worth mentioning just because a big part of his story, like I said, is not qualifying academically and all these things. He had some trouble, but obviously I don't know Ollie that well, but from everything I understand, he's actually a very sharp kid, a smart kid.
Yes.
He was behind academically because one, he was coming over from the Gambia, which has had a poor education system and some issues, and two, English wasn't his first language, so I think there was some just challenges there. But all indications are he is a sharp kid.
So Ollie Gaye on one side, Trevez Moore on the other, Ujulari.
Nope.
Oh no,
Andre Anthony.
Okay, so Andre Anthony. So what is Trevez Moore's role then? In terms of maybe not as a starter, but in terms of generating this pass rush, he was the super highly recruited out of JUCO. Number 1 pass rush guy coming in that year. His time at LSU's been up and down, right? Some social media posts maybe threatening to it seems like sometimes he wasn't fully satisfied. It seems like he is now positioned to have an impact.
Yeah, it's Trez Moore, somebody who, he was obviously a very highly touted JUCO guy, and we've seen it in flashes. He's been on the third down package at times for short spurts. We've seen it little bits, and everyone knows Trez Moore can pass rush. He's got the talent. He can do those kind of things, but I think he has some off-the-field issues. Spent some time away from the program his first year there, and I think he struggled with some of the mental aspects. I'm trying to remember what game it was, but I think we can all remember there was a game last season where he was in for a little bit. They finally gave him some trust, and he just completely didn't, go to cover a guy and gave up a 50-yard touchdown that was kind of completely on him. So, and Orgeron even said in his, because he was the starter pretty much leading up until this weekend, as far as we know. And then Orgeron even said kind of in his statement yesterday or in his press conference that, they kind of went Gaye because he knows the assignments a little better. He knows what he's doing a little more, which does kind of go back to what we're saying about Moore. But all of that said, Gaye is the starter right now, but Orgeron said they're going to pretty much split reps. They are going to be pretty 50-50. And I think Trevez Moore is going to have a big impact in the pass rush. So it is going to be interesting to see there. Orgeron said the left side is more of the strong side, run blocking side, and maybe Gaye's a little better at that and more as well. But I'm excited to see what Moore can do if he gets time.
Talking to Brody Miller here on OTBOT. We'll be recording the Hold That podcast later this afternoon, so be on the lookout for that. We will push it out when we do it. Okay, Brody, when you're looking at this game, I just talked about it last segment. I'm actually looking at the defense Saturday because I think if they're going to reach that potential championship ceiling that we've talked about and that guys like Bill Connolly have written about, I think it's going to be more on the defensive side of the ball this year. What about you, man? What are you focusing on Saturday?
Yeah, I think in terms of, I mean, I'd be lying if I said my number one thing I'll probably be watching is How to Smile's Brennan list.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So
I mean,
that's my answer, but that's kind of its own category. So I am with you. Yeah, as an overall team thing, I'm 100% more interested in the defense. One, because that's the bigger challenge, right? It's Mike Leach and going against this defense. But two, and you hit it perfectly, it's not even about winning the game. It's about what's your potential this year. And if you look at it that way, I think so much of this team's potential does come from, is this defense as good as you and I think it can be? You know, how are things going in a 4-3 scheme with, you know, a lot of weird changes going on in D-line in the past few months? And I think that is absolutely. I mean, Brooks Kubina, the Advocate, did a great story last night about, you know, how important the pass rush is and what you should know about the MSU offensive line. And I do think there's a lot I want to know. You know, is Opelika going to take a leap? How do those defensive ends look? Because as much as we're talking about them today, we have zero evidence yet of how good they can be. So we really don't know if we're going to get there. And of course, I want to just see what Oakland's defense looks like against a top, you know, or at least a top scheme. So yeah, I think that's what I'm not going to focus more on for sure. But definitely, you know, Orgeron seems bizarrely high on the running backs. Bizarrely is not the right choice of words, but really high on those running backs.
Yeah.
And I want to see what they are because I've always looked at that as a solid area, but never as highly as he has.
Yeah, there's going to be much more of a running game to this offense this year. It's something that Verge just talked about seeing in practice. I feel like they've continued to hammer down. It makes sense if you're trying to take a little bit off of Brennan's shoulders. So, yeah, I feel like TDP and company and Chris Curry and John Emery, they're going to have a lot of opportunity this year. Yesterday, I loved a Mike Leach quote where he talked about how, you know, they had a lot of guys leave, and I hope the new guys are worse, but, like, intellectually, I know they'll be better. But it gets you thinking, where is LSU actually better this season?
That is a fun question. I mean, I think no disrespect to Thad Moss, but I mean, if Eric Gilbert's as good as we think, I think you have to say tight end.
Yeah.
There's not many areas you can really say that. I mean, receiver, of course not. I mean, that's going to be good, but no. Quarterback, of course not. Running back, I'm actually really intrigued to see how good those three guys are together, but still not as good as Clyde, at least not any one of them. Offensive line, no.
Yeah.
Defensive line could have been, but just, you know, with losing Sheldon and the departures at the end, probably not anymore. But I mean, there's a chance they really thrive in the scheme. But if you're taking away scheme and just talking about like literally who's better, I think you still have to say that for Shard Lawrence, you know, Braden Fajoko, all those guys groups. So, and you know, as much as I love Damone Clark and Jabril Cox, I don't even think you can say linebacker just because you had Jacob Phillips, Patrick Queen, and Caleb Von Chase on.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, I think tight end's really the only answer you can really.
What about corner?
Right.
What about cornerback? I know you lost Christian Fulton, but you get an older Derek Stingley combined with, you know, whoever emerges out of that three-man battle. I feel like in the other edge is going to be great.
So I considered that, and that's totally possible. That kind of falls in the D-line category of, like, by week 4, I might be saying it's better. But, yeah, we don't really know. We can't predict what Riffs is yet. You know, I don't know, because the more I think about it, yeah, last year was literally Christian Fulton and 4 freshmen, right?
Yeah.
So as good as I liked how those freshmen look, they're freshmen. They were going through adjustments, all those things. Yeah, now you add in the fact that Stingley, Flock, Ward, those guys, they are sophomores now. They know what they're doing. The coaches seem really high on them. You know, maybe corner is better because Fulton also had some ups and downs last year, for being honest. So, you know what? You know, you talked me into it. Let's go corner is the only other one I'll say is better.
Corner and tight end? There you go, man. It's gonna be so much fun. God, I wish you still had Marcel Brooks. I don't know why that just popped into my head.
I know, man. That really would have just the intrigue of this defense under Pelini would have been like 10% high.
Yeah, the pass rush. He could have helped you out a lot there. Oh well, you know, no crying over spilled milk. Next man up, Brody. Well, you will be my next man up as we will talk later this afternoon.
All right. I'm looking forward to it, man.
All right, everybody go check out Brody News' story on Ollie Gaye. It is fantastic. On theathletic.com. Remember, MusoAthletic.com/holdoutpodcast. It's $12. I will literally pay it for you. It helps us, too, because it looks like people listen to the show and then signed up. So do that. All right, when we get back on OTBFT, we will wrap up this Tuesday show. See y'all soon.
OTB OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
This is a house call. This is a test result. This is a prescription refill. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare. Start your virtual visit today at Auctioner Health.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger. If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets.
Yo, join us for a Tuesday edition of Hanging with Hester and Haney, presented by Richard Honda from noon to 3. Chris Doring of the SEC Network comes in for his Tuesday hit. Hunt Palmer with us for an hour. And also Kat Terrell of The Athletic recaps the Saints versus Raiders in Vegas on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
I mean, speaking of frauds, it's not just Aaron Rodgers. Stephen A. Smith this morning giving you his best 5 teams in the NFL, and he doesn't even have the Bears in there. They're undefeated, Stephen. 2-0, get it together. No, it is kind of an interesting list. He has Rams, Packers, Seahawks, Chiefs, Ravens. I kind of like the Rams in there, even though I was super down on them to begin the year. I don't know. I'm just trying to give credit where credit's due because, like Rodgers, I think I was way off on the Rams.
Yeah, but the Rams should have lost week 1.
Should they have? I didn't watch.
Dak was leading that drive before that terrible pass interference call.
Okay, I didn't watch. I didn't see. I don't remember the pass interference call, so I didn't see that. So I can't speak to that. We got no problem. Packers at 4. I'd probably move Seahawks to 2, Chiefs to 3. Even though I have no problem betting on Pat Mahomes. I just think what the Seahawks have done thus far has been more impressive. Seahawks and Ravens fighting for that 1 and 2 spot. I could. I have no. I could make a case for either. I think the Ravens right now, the margin of victory that they are sporting, you combine that with how many games they won to end last year, whatever their crazy regular season winning game streak is on now, like 14 or 15 or something, they just look unstoppable. It just looks like teams just do not know how to handle them. That said, beating the Browns and this year's Texans, maybe not the most impressive slate compared to, it's hard to get over that Seahawks win over the Raiders, over the Patriots, or how good they looked in beating that Atlanta Falcons team. So, Stephen A., interesting list. Bears should be on there, though. They're undefeated as well, 2-0. So think about it, Stephen, for next time. Here's an interesting thought to end today's show. I was looking at memes yesterday.
Here we go.
As one does. And one funny one is, the Leonardo DiCaprio face where he's kind of like, he's all like smug looking from Django Unchained. It's that on a sperm, and it's talking about when you beat out the other sperm cells, it could have been millionaires or doctors just to come out of disappointment. That's fantastic. That's neither here nor there. I just thought that was funny. So I'm just looking at my face on a little sperm, just trolling all the other ones, like, ha, ha, ha. And there's like astronaut T-Bob, and he didn't make it. And there's, orthopedic surgeon T-Bob, he didn't make it. Girl version of T-Bob that would have been a successful like weightlifter or something, she didn't make it. This guy did, the radio host. So joke's on you, other versions of me that never made it. No, but here's a thought. Are snow days done?
Wait, what?
Will kids ever get another snow day?
Like, you mean just in general, kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
What do you mean?
It's just going to stop snowing?
No, it's going to snow. But you have Zoom for your classes. And now you're used to doing Zoom classes. It's the norm.
No, it's not.
You're used to it now at this point. You've been doing it for a year. You don't think you're going to carry that over into the future?
In some instances, yeah, sure, probably. But I don't really believe that if it's snowing, they're just going to be like, all right, virtual class, everybody fire up your Zoom.
I don't know, dude.
5 years
Makes
from
a
now.
lot of sense to me.
Nah.
Well, 5 years from now, it'll be like, go ahead and plug your brain into the wall. We all got the chip implants.
No, it won't.
Go ahead and...
It won't.
Yes, it
no,
will.
It won't.
In 5
we
to
were
10
already supposed to have flying cars, T-Bob. No, it won't.
Flying cars are the ultimate red herring. They're not actually that practical.
They're also a terrible idea, by the way.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So, they don't make sense. So, there's no need to invent them. Taking my cell phone and implanting that in my brain makes sense. I hope that there's still snow days. There's
going to be snow days.
I hope that there's still snow days. I don't know, dude. I just don't know.
T-Bob, they just had... Never mind.
What,
I'm going to turn into Jordy. I better chill.
Hurricane Day? They didn't Zoom on Hurricane Day?
No, they didn't Zoom on Hurricane Day.
Okay.
It was sunny outside, and the kids just got a free day.
Yeah, but you're threatening a hurricane. You're not really threatening a snow day. All right, we'll see you tomorrow off the bench.
OTB, OT.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.